this hand that smells like diesel fuel. It's not very good.
And that's how we'll start the YouTube VOD.
There's not enough bourbon in the world. There's really not.
We're men in our 40s. We're drinking bourbon. And we're talking about video games.
I really should have ate dinner.
You should have eaten dinner. This is true.
Well, these things that I think are going to take 15 minutes end up taking 4 hours.
Nothing takes 15 minutes anymore. Nothing.
No, it really doesn't.
Nothing. So we are here to finally put a bow on the year 2025 in video games. You might ask yourself, guys, it's February. what are you talking about? 2025 or for a month? But Justin and I have pretty much of a tradition of giving ourselves the grace of at least a month into the next year to try to finish games.
I got kids in a full-time job.
Yep.
I can't play all these games.
And
we only decided to do this 4 months ago.
We did decide to do it for 1 month, but we were very good about deciding it that long ago, though. I was just like, hey, Justin, I was thinking, like, maybe we want to just do a one-off, like, game of the year like we used to. And Justin was like, surprising me, to be honest with you, was like, yeah, absolutely. I'm really into that. And I was like, whoa, okay. I guess we're doing it then. So we are doing a, we're doing this is what 2022? Is that the last time we did one of these? Yeah. Yeah. Elden Ring year was the last time you and I did one of these, right? We didn't do a Baldur's Gate year one. That was 2023.
You're right.
And we didn't do last year, obviously. So this is our first time since the Elden Ring year that we've done a game of the year.
You know, getting a little older, it was hard to keep up with everything.
Yes.
And the constant feel to have to play everything was starting to actually burn me out.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's why I've disappeared from content. And honestly, my video game habits have really changed over the last couple of years.
You say that, but every year you're always like, you're always pumping up new games to play. And you're always like, I want to check this out. Just like we would if we were doing a podcast.
Yeah, so I know, but then we actually never end up checking them out.
Yeah. I checked a lot of games out this year, my friend. What was your damage this year in games wise? You think
that I played?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's gotta be north of 25.
Cool.
That I at least put hands on.
Like a significant little, like not just like one, like a significant, like couple hours at least.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you count Grindstone? Because let me.
I meant games that were released in the year of 2025.
Yeah, I put a good amount. Not as much as we used to when we were podcasting, but maybe this year, in the good year of our Lord 2026.
I mean, the year's off to a great start. So
I've yet to touch a 2026 game.
No, that's not true. We have played 2 nights of Highguard.
Highguard. Let me tell you guys about Highguard.
Justin, we don't have time for Highguard talk, all right? If you want to talk about current games, you have to start doing regular content. We're not talking about current games.
It's better than people are saying.
That's true. I agree with that. So I probably put at least a couple hours into 40 games this year. That is one of the most totals I've ever had. The highest totals I've ever had.
This guy's a show off.
I'm a show off. And I will say that it wasn't like there's definitely some padding of the stats with short games. I'm not going to say that there's not.
You do play a lot of short games.
I love a short game. I love a game that I can beat in 1 or 2 sittings.
I love games that don't ever end. Apparently.
Yeah, apparently. But I will say there is, of those 40 games that I put a couple hours into, I think 28 of them I finished in some capacity, if they're able to be finished. Finished or put 20 plus hours into, if you're considering like a multiplayer game, right? And a couple of them were pretty big games. And I did something this year which I never ever really do, which is, a couple games I played a chunk of early in the year, dropped, and then I actually went back and finished them at the end of the year, and I had like significant chunks of time to put into them. It wasn't like, oh, I've got 3 hours left. It's I've got 15 hours left. I've got 20 hours left. I've got 50 hours left in the case of one of these games.
I will say the last couple of months I've been extremely impressed with your drive to start and finish video games.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like 5 years ago, our roles were a little bit reversed, where
Yes.
it's like you put hands on a lot of things
Mhm.
and I finished a lot of things, and now we're a little bit in the opposite direction. I put a lot of hands on I put hands on a lot of the games we're gonna talk about tonight,
Mhm.
but I didn't finish all of them,
Yeah.
which is sacrilegious to me, and I almost feel like I'm an imposter for being here. But then I listened to, like, the biggest video game podcast on
Uh-huh.
earth, and half of them never finish any of the
This
games.
is very true.
So,
Yeah.
I finished the important ones, which were all the ones that on my top
All
10.
the ones on your top 10, all the important games.
Uh,
Uh, I
this Go ahead.
I would say this year, you know what I think the last couple of years of not doing regular content about video games has taught me is that I've learned much more about myself to know the games that I think I could actually beat or play through before I pick them up, right? Like I ain't starting The Evil Within 2 thinking like, oh, maybe I'll finish this. I know I'm not going to finish that game if I was to start it now. Really trying to only play games that I really think I have a chance of actually finishing. So that's part of what I'm doing. Um,
Alejandro says I'm a little bit low compared to you.
oh, thank you, Alejandro, for that. I can turn you up, Justin, on my end too.
Okay.
Don't worry about that. All right. So why don't you talk a little bit for me? You're going to say something anyway.
I was gonna say this was the reason we decided to do this year is because this is a banger year for games. As long as you and I have been doing content together, this was the most difficult top 10 I've put together.
Hmm. Yeah.
I kind of knew the games that I were going to be in my top 10. There's a few that just missed that, like, even when I start listing them out, I might swap one in for another.
Hmm.
But I really struggled with what was the best game of the year for me. And not because there wasn't there was like 6 games I could put at number 1, and my thoughts on it constantly were shifting. A week ago, I had one game as my number 1, and when I sat down to do the list today, I was like, "Is it though?"
Mm.
And when I started actually writing it out at 6:30 this morning, I was like, "Oh, I'm really struggling with the 10 games I kind of knew, but I didn't know in what order they were going to go, and there were 3 different versions of the list with 3 different games at number 1."
Interesting. Interesting. So for me, number one was not difficult, but the rest of the list was very difficult. I will say that. Alejandro, let me know the levels now. We should get into. So at the end of this, I think you and I should go over we'll read out our personal top tens, and I'm sure some of that will leak out as we're discussing this long list. But if people haven't listened to these before, how this works is Justin and I have a long ass list, basically of most of the games we touched this year. Um, and we're going to start whittling it down. The point is to get it to 10 games and then to order those 10 games. That's the point of this exercise, right? Um, and well, I think actually I don't want to change it. Are you sure, Justin, that this? Let me make. Bring up the list. That are you sure that's big enough for you?
I'm waiting for it to come up. Yeah,
Okay.
that's fine. I can see it.
Okay.
I got those good eyes.
Okay. Good. I have terrible eyes. So, um, so a lot of there's going to be games on this list that Justin and I don't even think will be anywhere near our top 10 for this thing. But this is also because we don't do this anymore. It's a good way for us to just kind of like chill out and like talk about the year, a little bit. So that is also what part of this is. Um, we have a couple destinations. I have long list, cut, short list, top 10. So, um, and then we can go back and look at stuff. We can go back here at this and look at the cuts. We have the short list here, and then we have our top 10 right there. So we are going to start going through this list. We have, I think, 47 games on this list right now. I did my best, Justin, to add all of the games I think you would have put on here in some way, but
Legitimately this morning was looking for this doc so I could start adding things to it in case you didn't have it. But I have some of the games in my head.
okay. So I'll read down this list. Um, and we will you let me know if there's any games you want me to add. Okay. So I'm just going to read them out as we go here. There's 47 games. Claire Obscure Expedition 33, Hades 2, Avowed, Keeper, Arc Raiders, Blueprints, Sword of the Sea, the Jackbox Party Pack 11, Megabonk, Borderlands 4, and Roger, Hollow Knight Silksong, Clover Pit, Despolote, The Root Trees Are Dead, Is This Seat Taken, Easy Delivery Company, Split Fiction, Peak, Mario Kart World, Shinobi Art of Vengeance, Dispatch, Pipistrello and the Cursed Yo-Yo, Power Wash Simulator 2, Ooh, Elden Ring Night Rain, Monster Hunter Wilds, Consume Me, Donkey Kong Bonanza, Death Stranding 2, On the Beach, Metroid Prime 4, Beyond, Battlefield 6, Marvel Cosmic Invasion, Ball. I think it's just Ball Pit, right? Like that's what it is, even though the X is there. I think it's just Ball
Nobody
Pit.
knows how to pronounce that game.
Okay, Ball Pit, The Seance of Blake Manor, Lego Voyagers, FBC Firebreak, Slots and Daggers, Ghosts of Yote, Citizen Sleeper 2, Starward Vector, Q Up, Absalom, Silent Hill F, Duck Detective, The Ghost of Glamping, Doom, The Dark Ages, A Game About Digging a Hole, and Road to Empress. Do you have something to add, Justin?
Add in Lego Party.
We can add something we're gonna cut right away. That's fine. Okay, who played? This lame guy Justin played it.
I played this game and I super like this
Long
game.
list, and this is the year of 2025. All right. Okay. Anything else?
If it comes to me, I'll let you know.
Okay. So, but nothing else that jumps out to you.
Nothing else that jumps out to me, no.
Okay. So, let's start up. So, I think let us we should have the doc so you could look and pick something to cut. But let you. How do we want to start this?
We can cut Lego Party.
Okay.
Like
Say
Lego
say
Party.
your thing about it though.
So I don't like Mario Party. I've actually never liked Mario Party.
Justin, nobody likes Mario Party. They just deal
I
with
mean,
it.
there are sickos that like Mario Party.
Yeah, they're real sickos though.
My son's one of them. But I heard really good things about Lego Party, and now I think Lego Party should just replace Mario Party. Um, there is something about like it's obviously just Mario Party in Lego form. It is nice that you get to actually dress up your character how you want.
Mm-hmm.
And there are some of the IPs in there that you can do, like Ninjago and stuff. My hope is that they get more IP so you could be Gandalf if you want to be Gandalf and so on and so forth. But what's really nice about Lego Party is there is a lot of the Lego movie like we're building the world as we play in it
Mm.
type stuff. That's pretty great looking. I think it's a good looking game, especially because everything has that like Lego Voyagers has that brickwork, right? Where you're kind of like seeing the Lego stuff come together. This game has a lot of that, and it's fun. The mini games are more fun than the Mario mini games. I'll say that. So
Well, it's a low
I know
bar.
it is a low bar, but like I've played Mario Party. Jorah likes Mario Party,
Yeah, he's a
so
kid.
I've
He's
played a
allowed.
decent amount of those video games. And like for a family game, like me and Finn and Jorah sat down on the couch, and like even Finn was just like happy to see like pick out his little Lego figure. And granted, he couldn't figure out any of the mini games, but
Mm-hmm.
like it was enjoyable. Whereas like when I'm playing Mario Party, I'm like, please let this end. This was definitely more enjoyable just because of everything, like the visual spectacle, the fact that like you get to make your character, and every time you complete a game you get more pieces that you can unlock for your like
Mm-hmm.
to like start you know customizing your character. It was fun. It's definitely like I'm going to spend a lot more time with it in the next year, but it was added to be taken off.
All right, nice. I will say in that frame, I want to just quickly talk about the Jackbox Party Pack 11. I think this is the best one in quite a while. I mean, I think since like 5 or 6, I think this is the best one. It's got 3 absolutely just banger games in it. One called Dominate, where you basically ruin. So people type in things that they love, and then you get the prompts, and it's your job to ruin them, basically. So it could be like, Lord of the Rings, but it's narrated by Ben Shapiro or whatever.
God. All right.
You know,
You've
like that.
sold me on this game.
Yeah, like that kind of thing. And then in the last round, you have to unruin things that were ruined. So you have to add on to the ruining or whatever. It's a really fun game. That one is great. There's you know, they have one of their like drawings or design game. It's like a cookie decorating one. And they have like a customer come in and be like, I want a cookie that's like this, and you got to pick it out and you got to put icing and stuff on it. It's basically like Drawful or any of those other type of games, but it's really really good. A lot of good personality. And then like the home run, at least for my family, is I can't remember the name of the game, but it's like a sound game, and basically it gives you a bunch of prompts, and you've got to like do sound. So it's like, okay, um, you know, give us your fast food order in a sexy voice, and you know, and then everybody does it, and then it plays it, you know, on the TV, and then at the end of the round, it has like a little TV screen, and it plays a little like clip of something, and it like, or you know, and it like it's a DJ, like, you know, and they'll push the faders up, and all of a sudden it'll be like a remixed version of you doing your like sexy like you know, drive through order or whatever. It is fantastic. Those three games are just out of this world good. There's a trivia one that's like it's like a Dungeons and Dragons like party system trivia game. So everyone is sort of like on the same team. They're not playing against each other. And you rack up points like the faster you get questions right, and you like take down bosses and stuff like that. Like a lot of fun. It's a real, like I said, I think it is the best Jackbox Party Pack game in a very long time. Um, that being said, still like it's not going to be in the top 10 for the year. But I really think it's quite good. And so I recommend, if you like these games and you've kind of not been, you know, into them for a while, this one's a real good one. So it's a good one.
And goodbye.
And goodbye. Justin, you want to pick something out to talk about or to cut?
We can cut Clover Pit.
Yeah, I agree.
So I realize um, I have there is a type of game that I like. I like
Hmm.
when the numbers go up.
You do. You very
I
much
do
do.
love numbers go up games.
You do.
And when we first saw the trailer for Clover Pit, I was like, "Oh shit, this is the new Inscription."
Hmm.
Like that is what this game is aping for hard. Um, and I spent one afternoon playing it, and I got to the point where some of these games lose me.
Hmm.
And the reason that they lose me is because let's take Balatro or Slay the Spire, for instance, right? Um, at a certain point in those games, you need to start getting not millions in the score,
Hmm.
but like tens, hundreds of millions
Yeah.
to get past some of these levels. And it's really about having like a specific type of build that will get you those type of scores. Now, when I played it that afternoon, like I played it until I was just like, oh, I could actually I beat the game. Like there is a spot where you can leave the room you're stuck in
Hmm.
and end. Um, or you can keep going. And I had like a super powerful build going, and I was like, I'll just keep going. And I got pretty far. I got told where I was getting like 10 million a hands, but the point to pass was like 100 million. And I was just like, oh, okay. I see exactly what this game is. Like Balatro has the same type of thing
Hmm.
where it's like if you're not scoring in the millions per hands, you're not getting past a certain point.
Right. Yeah.
And like this game did not have the pull that I think that they were hoping, like that inscription pull where you were like, oh, I'm really curious about what's going on. Um,
It was
it's
like
fine.
it was like Inscription. It was like using the Inscription thing as like bait, basically. It's like
Yes.
it's barely not. It's not like Inscription at all, really. It is just like one of those games, except it has like a, you know,
It wants you to look around your environment. It wants you to like kind of like, but your environment is really just like a very small room that you could look around, and it's
there's no developing story really or anything that, or
no,
like
no.
some any big twists. Like, you know, it is much more like, you know, like you said, one of those games that there is more of a 3D environment around you. You know, it's like
So
if
there is a
yeah,
go ahead.
no,
There's another game on this list
oh
that
yeah,
takes this idea and just does it better,
yeah, for sure.
and we'll get to it. I enjoyed the 2 hours I spent with it, but I did not feel the pull to keep going with it.
I mean, my thing with a lot of these games, and obviously you're much more into roguelikes and stuff like that than I am, but to me, like if I run into the same sort of barrier, like kind of I expect to run into the same barrier a few times. But if I run the barrier like on like 6 straight runs, like I tend to get like, kind of over it basically, and that
Oh, I know. There's plenty of games that we'll talk about on this list where I
yeah.
feel like hit that wall. There is a game. Oh, do you have no? There is a game that's not on this list that I put a decent amount of time into, and it's the Rogue Prince of Persia. Speaking of
Oh,
Rogue,
okay.
uh, it's a good game. Like you don't even have to add it, but like
Mhm.
I'll just shout it out. Great art style, amazing soundtrack, but one of those roguelikes where it's just like, oh, like I'm enjoying this. It comes from Twin Motion. Like Dead Cells split out into two studios.
Yes.
One is doing
Motion
Windblown, which
Twin, Motion Twin. Yeah,
Motion
yeah,
Twin.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
One is doing Windblown, and the other was doing the Rogue
Mhm.
Prince of Persia. I think that's Evil Empire was doing the Rogue Prince of Persia, and like totally fine. I might come back to it at some day, but it was just like one of those ones where it was just like, I'm enjoying this, and then something else came out, and I put it down and never went back to it. Great
Yeah.
soundtrack.
All right. Let's cut some of the ones that like you and I put very little time into, just because they're on here, just because we played a little bit of them. Borderlands 4, goodbye.
I knew you were gonna say Borderlands 4.
Yeah. I mean, I don't want to spend a lot of time talking about a game we put we
Put
we
like
10.
10-ish hours into it. It's fine. It's
Yeah.
probably a fine Borderlands,
Yeah.
but guess what? We're just like not into Borderlands anymore.
No, and like, it
Like,
was like I think you really, and I don't want to say this. I don't want to like make this like a LOL Borderlands writing is terrible, like like
it was
conversation.
fine. Like,
But
I didn't have any problems with the writing in that game.
no, my problem is my thing is just like I'm not into the writing. Like the writing is like I'm not sitting there like wanting to scrape my eyes out with a fork or anything, but like I'm not into their thing. So when we did that, the mission that broke me was that mission where we had to like set off that warhead, and the warhead talked, and we
Oh,
had to
yeah.
sit through like what felt it was probably 3 minutes of dialogue, but it felt like 25 minutes of dialogue where with this warhead. And I'm like, this is nothing about this is overly like I'm not like, oh God, what lane like but I'm like, I don't care. Like I just want to go around shooting things, and I don't care about your story. And like they probably made the right choice based on the sales about going open world or whatever, but it just felt like we would like shoot something and then get on those like those sparrows and be on them for 5 minutes driving across the world and then
Do you
shooting
know
things.
do you know how hard it is to bore me when I'm fucking high? And this game bored me when I
Yeah.
was fucking on the moon.
Mhm. Yeah,
So,
yeah. Mhm.
as a sequel to Borderlands 3, like, it's going in the right direction,
Yeah.
but it just felt like that open world just felt kinda lifeless.
It did. And I always judge it by the fact that, like, we at a certain point were just like, neither of us really wanna play this anymore."
Yeah.
Neither of us were like, like, trying to get the other one to go back to it. Like, it was just like, I think
We both, like, shook hands and were like, "Okay,
yes, we're done.
we're done."
So that one we put a good amount of time and enough to say like definitely not on this list. A couple games that we just did not put enough time into. We played Monster Hunter Wilds I think for a total of 3 hours over two
That's my
nights.
fault. I'm raising my hands. That's on me. I really was trying to get into Monster Hunter. They make it fucking impossible to get into Monster Hunter unless you're like, "I'm getting a Monster Hunter tattoo across my chest,
Yeah, you've got to
and
have
I'm
like a
gonna learn
degree
this
in
game."
Monster Hunter to
But,
to
like,
do it.
you really like, I Capcom confuses me. What was the previous Monster Hunter? It wasn't Wilds. What was it? It was, uh
World was the last like
yes,
non
like,
Nintendo one. Rise
but the
was the
thing
one
is,
before
they
that.
had such momentum with that game, and it's like, "Oh, shit, man." If they take like, watching that game from afar It's like, okay, well, if they actually lean into the co-op aspect of this, they're looking at the From Software and being like, we're gonna do multiplayer like that, except it's actually gonna be more
It was
confusing.
more difficult
Yes.
than
And
doing
if
the
your
From Software.
multiplayer is more confusing than a From Software game, you fucked up, buddy. You fucked up big.
The thing I apparently hear is that really like the campaign, which is relatively short, you should just play like solo, and then it's really like the after campaign stuff that is like the real multiplayer juice. But again, we didn't really put much time to it. People love.
I got mad. I got mad at
Justin
this
was very
game
mad. It was not an enjoyable evening.
because
To the
the
point where I was
thing
like,
that
we
made
can
me
just
so
play
mad was
something
like,
else.
so, like, but you went into a cutscene, and
Yeah.
like I then tried to join. Like we were trying to join up in the same world, and I came in, but then I had to actually watch the beginning of the cutscene that you were in while you were battling,
Yeah. It's true.
and then try and catch up to where you were. It was very, you know what that game is? It's disjointed.
It is. I don't want to get we didn't play a lot of it. I don't want to get too much into it, but like yeah,
Okay,
it was nothing.
fair enough.
Elden Ring Night Rain is not one that we had that problem with. We actually really enjoyed the one night we played of it. We all left it being like, that's actually a really fun. Like that's how we basically left it. You know?
Elden Ring Night Rain will, if we do this again next year, will be one of those games where it was like that game was actually really great, and we should have spent more time with it in 2025, and we just didn't get to.
Yeah, yeah. Um, I really liked the one night we played of it. I thought it had a lot of promise, and people have, it's continued to be successful, and they've gotten content updates and stuff like that. So I look forward to playing more of it, but that's gonna get cut because we just didn't play enough of it. I'm trying to think if there's anything else on here that neither. Oh, I'll do this one really quick. Couple of my own really quick. Lego Voyagers, which is like a It Takes Two split fiction type of game, but with like a Lego thing. I played with my son. It was fun. It's extremely easy. Like it's just one of the. There's not a lot of friction and barrier to it. Um, you know, which made it nice because I didn't have to get frustrated like I would have to if I was playing like one of the other games with him. But it was so easy that even he was kind of like, yeah, I feel like he was like a little bored by it. Very
Mm.
pretty. It looks, it's by the same team that made that Lego Builders Journey game from a couple of years ago, so it looks amazing. And it is clever and fun and cute and charming, and it's very short. But it just did not like it didn't have the juice, you know what I'm saying? Um,
Let me take one for a second.
yeah.
Battlefield 6.
Battlefield 6.
What's up?
What's up with Battlefield 6? One of the rare multiplayer games I just didn't go there with you, Justin.
Battlefield 6 is fucking awesome. I'm not gonna lie. Like 6, 7 years ago, this would 100% have been
How many years ago?
one of my games. 6, 7 years ago.
Oh, 6, 7?
Oh God, no, I did it. God damn you. Um, this game is. There's nothing wrong with this game. This game is great. The problem is I just couldn't get anybody to take the ride with me, and I can't play Battlefield by myself.
I think somebody who's listening to this is gonna argue with you about that. No one will take the ride with
What,
you. Cody.
Cody?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, like, Cody never reached out to really play. Um, I really I've always been a mark for Battlefields,
Mhm,
and Battlefield has kind of not been great. This, when they say it's a real return to form, this really was. There is a map that they added with DLC where you're just basically in the suburbs. It's one of the best Battlefield maps I've ever played. It's just you really need to go into Battlefield with a squad, because if you're not with a squad, there's really no point to it. Everything's so big. You need more people with you.
mhm.
Um, if this was 3 years ago and I could pull more people into this game, I would be pushing this game higher up the list. But since I was just literally playing by myself, it's not going anywhere. But Battlefields is on the right path,
Was it
and I
where
hope.
was it on your personal list?
No, it was not on my
Okay.
personal list.
All right.
I like, I knew that it wasn't gonna get very far, so I didn't put it on my personal list, but I think this game is a very, very, very good shooter, and, like, most people, like, really agreed. This game did really well this year. It
It did
outsold
great.
Call of Duty. is exactly what they were always hoping for.
Yeah, it was.
So I I hope when this game is on sale for $20 a year from now that I could pull more people into it and we could have a couple of great weeks with it because it's really fucking phenomenal.
All right, so we're cutting it though.
We're cutting it though.
Okay. All right.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. Goodbye, Battlefield. We're gonna cut some stuff here. Let's do some fast ones. FBC Firebreak. Did we play 2 times?
I think we played 2 times. Man, this game,
It was meh.
man. Remedy has a wheelhouse.
To be fair, Remedy didn't internally develop the game. To be fair, really, I mean they did, but it wasn't like the main team. You know?
No, it's not the main team,
Yeah.
but
So it's internally developed.
the ideas are good. The execution, not so
Hmm.
much.
Yeah, yeah, I got you.
So I love to live in the world of Control, but I want to see it done by the main Remedy team, and
Which you'll get that this year.
we're gonna get that this year. So that's all I need.
Yeah. Um, Alejandro says if Battlefield was in Magic the Gathering, Cody would have been in.
You know what?
That's after Alejandro says Cody Shade, by the way. It throws his own Cody Shade. Okay. Um all right. Let's see. I'm seeing if we got any. I gotta get rid of any more of like the games that we barely touched.
Marvel Cosmic Invasion
Oh yeah, yeah. We
is
can, yeah.
perfectly cromulent beat 'em up if you absolutely know with no difficulty whatsoever.
The problem
Like
with that game though is that it doesn't scale the difficulty with more people. If you play it solo, it gets hard as balls. But when you're playing with 4 people or 3 people or even 2 people, it becomes trivial.
I played this for one night. We beat half the game with Mike and Mike, and I barely was losing any health.
Hmm.
And it's cool, oh, you're you're playing as Venom, or you're playing as Nova, or you're playing
Hmm.
as Spider-Man or whatever, and that's a lot of fun, but there's just no barrier there where it's I even have to think about what I'm doing. And I'm gonna be honest, I suck at beat 'em ups. I'm not great at them. I'm always punching one frame ahead of where the person is. But in this game, there was no problem. I will eventually go back and beat it. But man, we made so much progress in one night without even breaking a sweat.
Hmm. Yeah. I really enjoyed my time with it. I think the animation and the art in it, 2D art in it is like
It's great.
it's
It's great.
really kind of amazing, you know?
Yeah.
Really,
In
really.
Marvel Rivals, they have these skins now
Oh,
where you're
really?
playing as a 2D version of Venom,
That's
and
cool.
it's awesome looking. But it's just it did not engage with me at all.
Like, this is just like a
Which is a
cinematic
which is
trailer, but
like a oh, that's a cinematic
no,
trailer, yeah.
there's gameplay in it. There we go. Here we go. Um,
I kept the first time we were playing, I was like, "We need to raise the difficulty on this game so I feel something."
you also have a little bit of a weird thing about that.
But because I'm just not I'm just
You're just supposed to like.
absent-mindedly just pressing attack, and you want to have some sort of engagement with the
Well, were
systems
you
that
guys
you're
going
going
for
to
the
play.
challenges and stuff?
We had some of the
But
challenges where it was
what the engagement is. If you want more than just mindlessly punching, it's really those it's really the challenges that you want to go
I will
for.
give the game a bunch of credit for having a great 2D Venom.
My favorite things were we'll cut that. I mean, it's not on my personal list, so I don't mind cutting it. But I think Beta Ray Bill, uh,
Beta Ray Bale's great. That was the character I played. That hammer comes out and just spins in
yeah,
place. Fucking awesome.
Ghost Rider rules in it as well.
Yeah.
And of course, Cap, the great Cap, a great beat 'em up Cap in that game for sure. Um, all right, so
You ready for a good one?
it's me though. For right now, you can have your good one
Go ahead.
after.
Go
Okay.
ahead. You go ahead. Go ahead.
Uh,
Oh, it's right beneath. It's right there.
I'm gonna cut,
Oh,
but
okay.
I'm gonna cut Q Up, which is a weird game made by the guy who made Universal Paperclips. It's basically it's what it's a satire of esports where all it is just coin flips. Literally, that's all it is. You get into a match and the coins flip heads or tails. You're on the heads team or the tails team, and whatever happens, you win or lose based on that. Except you know, they also have all of these sort of like modifiers that you can get, which means that even if you sometimes if you lose, you get more points than if you win, basically. And there's a whole sort of like meta layer where you're getting sponsorship deals and emails and like all this
There
stuff
was
going on.
so much reading in this game,
There is
and
reading
I'm
in
not
this
gonna
game.
lie,
There's a lot of reading.
I took a very large gummy, and I sat there watching you stream this game, and I was like, "Fuck, there is a shit ton of reading in
There's a
this
lot of
game. I
reading
made
in
a
it.
mistake having him played it."
But just playing the coin flipping game was actually a lot of fun. And it's a real multiplayer game, by the way, too. Like you can play again, you can queue up with your friends and play against other real people as well, which is kind of crazy about it. Really fun thing. You know, I played once or twice after that the stream that I did of it. I enjoyed my time with it, but it didn't crack, you know, my top 20, I don't think. So obviously not on this list.
Doom: The Dark Ages
Uh,
is maybe the most disappointing game I played this year.
mm-mm. Not ripping, not ripping and tearing action that you wanted.
We're not ripping and tearing everything about this game. Now, I am a latecomer to Doom. I went back and replayed the Doom 2016 this year after playing Doom
Eternal.
Eternal. Yeah. And this game has all the makings of an awesome fucking video game. But the problem with this game is, once again, if you're playing on the normal difficulty, they literally put no barrier to you absolutely shredding
Hmm.
in front of you. It's hard to explain, but it's just basically like they were like almost hand feeding you, like a fucking bird would feed its chicks or whatever.
Hmm.
It's like, oh, look at all these enemies. Well, if you throw your shield once, you'll get rid of them all. And like it just bothered me. It felt so by the numbers, like we're watching the trailer right now. This gun that's absolutely shredding a skull and shooting out fragments is
Uh-huh.
awesome. You have a shield that you could throw and have these bone like it has these like
They're showing it right now.
chainsaw effects
Yeah.
on it. Yeah, that's all awesome. But it's like, well, what if you could throw this shield and just kill most of the enemies on screen at once because they're glowing a certain color? They kind of got away from what made Doom 2016 so fucking great. Like they course corrected from Doom Eternal, where it was just like, wow, there are way too many systems in place, but they made it too fucking easy.
Hmm.
Like I got bored playing it because it was just like, oh, these guys are going blue, throw the shield. Oh, I just killed like 9 guys. Oh, these guys are going green, do this. I got through half of the game. I was just like, I have no desire to keep playing this because I'm just not. The only reason I would keep going is for the story, and I don't come to Doom games for the story. I come for the gameplay,
But they
and you took the
definitely
gameplay.
decided at some point that you come for the story. That's the thing that I think that they, even with Eternal, they really missed on, which was
So
like,
here's the problem with this studio is they accidentally stumbled into the perfect game with
mm-hmm,
Doom 2016
mm-hmm,
and then went the wrong way with Eternal. Not the wrong way, but they like leaned too hard into the gameplay systems. And in this one, they were like, well, everybody's going to really wonder what's going on with this Doomslayer that has a shield in medieval times. Just, just fucking missed opportunity.
yeah,
They went in the wrong direction 2 different times.
yeah.
They hit it right the first time and then strayed away from it in 2 different directions.
They did the thing that happens to I think a lot of teams and sequels is I think that you like I said, Doom 2016 they sort of like lucked in or not lucked in, but you know, kind of did some stuff that I don't think they even expected to hit, and then those things hit. Like Doom 2016 is like a pretty funny game, you know, in ways that are like really weird. And it has like
It's funny by accident.
I don't think it's actually by accident, but
Well, it's not trying to be funny.
I think
Like they
when he punches like that
yes,
that's
but
meant to be funny. But here's what I just want to say: they were like, oh, people like that. What if we just like expanded that out crazy? Then people will love it even more. It's the same thing with the platforming stuff. There are these like little platforming sections in Doom 2016, and you're like, wow, actually. pretty good little platforming sections in this first
Especially for
person
a first
shooter.
person, yeah, yeah.
And then they're like, okay, so you want the whole game to be platforming sections? It's like, no, like, what are you talking about? Also, I don't want the game to be 3 times as long as Doom 2016. Doom 2016 is like even maybe a little long in itself. And like,
Yeah, it was.
but it's, it's one of those things for me. The series definitely for me, like, I didn't even play Dark Ages because you were kind of like, it's whatever. And I was already on the fence about it because I could not get into Eternal at all. So it was like one of these things where it really needed to like blow me away to get me back into it.
So, as somebody who played Eternal, played a little bit of 16, got over his whole personal feelings about
Uh-huh.
the whole thing,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
which you
yeah.
wanted me to get into.
Yeah.
Then played Eternal all the way through. I was so fucking amped to play Dark Ages.
Mhm.
Like, it was one of my most look forward to games of the year, and I played 10 hours of it, and I was like, "Oh man, I don't want to play this anymore. I'm so fucking bored."
Yeah.
And that's when you have a shield that's a fucking chainsaw and you're about to throw it out like Captain America and you're pulling the ripcord to get the chainsaw blades going and you're throwing it out and you're like, "Oh man,
The thing is, like, Doom the Dark
that's
Ages
sad."
should be over after 10 hours. Like, that's the thing to me. It's like these games should be like
Yeah,
10 to 12 hours long and that's it. And they should be done. Anyway, so that's
yeah.
cut. I don't want to spend too much time on the stuff we don't like because we have a lot of games that we haven't talked about any games we actually do really like yet.
Yeah, I
Um,
know. We're
um,
out of practice. We haven't done this in a
and
while.
no, it's fine. We're gonna get to the point where it's gonna be hard to cut things, and I think we're gonna start locking
Alright.
some stuff. So
You keep hovering over Road to Empress. Buddy, I'm gonna tell you, I've been watching you stream this game.
yeah,
I I
it's so much fun. I'm not gonna fight for it to be on this list. Don't get me wrong. It's not in my top 10. But and partly because I didn't finish it. I haven't finished it yet. I've streamed it twice. It's an FMV, like basically Chinese Game of Thrones.
it's something.
It basically you play as this young woman who is basically in the palace of the Chinese emperor in like the 600s, I think, and you're basically trying to work your way to the top, and you get into all these situations where you can make the wrong choice and you can die, and you have got to go back and like make a different choice to live. Essentially, it's all shot real video, really high production values. It's got so much sort of intrigue and fun to it. I loved playing it. I love streaming it, but obviously it's not gonna fight because I haven't finished it. But I just want to say like it fucking rules, and I'm really happy and I'm really excited to finish it. Um,
I'm glad that you're happy to finish it. You have the FMV.
I love FMV games.
You have the Vidi FMV
I
thing.
don't love as many. Vinny is a little bit more willing to play total dog shit like to FMV games than I am. I love FMV games, which people don't know. Full motion video just means it's like real video. Um, Alejandro says, "Don't drink that soup," and he's absolutely right. If your aunt offers you a sweet floral dessert Chinese dessert soup, don't drink it because you're gonna die. She's gonna poison you, and that's just one of the great lessons I've learned from Road to
So,
Empress.
a lesson I learned about the video game community is sometimes they're just absolutely taking with dog shit. A game about digging a hole.
I played this. I played it. I played it.
We haven't talked about this at all.
No, well, I
So,
just played it. I just finished it yesterday.
okay.
Yeah.
So 6, 7 months ago, this game kind of took the video game community by storm for God damn it. It's so easy to do it. 5, 6 months ago, this
There you
game
go.
took the video game community by storm, where it's this stupid game about digging a hole in your backyard,
Hmm.
and you dig as deep as you can, and then you come back up, and then you like get more resources to dig down
Hmm.
further and further and further. It's dog shit. Like, there's nothing special about this game.
Well, I mean,
But for
the reason people talk about it so much because it came out at a time when there was like nothing out. That's part of the reason why people talked about it so much
it's
at the
also
time.
$5, which is like
Yes.
not very expensive.
And you're making fun of this
But
little $5 game.
okay,
You also don't like games like this though, Justin. Like you don't like Power Wash. Like, you don't like these games that are kinda like, "I'm gonna do, like, a little like, a
Oh,
little repetitive task."
I would not put this on the level of Power Wash Simulator.
It's not as good as Power
If
Simulator, but I played it and it was like I enjoyed my time with it.
it was
Yeah, it was fine.
fine, but, like, I don't know why it got such word of mouth going on about this game because it was just literally like you're digging a hole and then it's just like, "Oh, shit, this is super unsatisfying when you get to the end." Like, I got to the end and I was like, "That was it? That's it? I did this in
You
2
you
hours."
got to the end?
Oh, I got to the end.
Okay.
Yeah, I got to the end while I was fucking
That was
prepping for a
th that
colonoscopy.
was fun. I like the little the end. This guy made a
I
much more, the trailer that's playing right now, a much nicer hole than I dug.
Oh, yeah, my hole was fucking chaos
Yeah.
all over the place. Um, it for 5 for $5,
Oh, they
it's
even
like
teased the end here.
yeah, I know. Yeah, that's what was like got me into it. I was like, "Oh, what's down there? What's down there?" And then I died down there like multiple
Oh,
times.
really? I got to the end and that was it. I didn't die, but,
Oh no, I died. I was like, "Oh, what if I did this?" And it was like, "Oh, you die."
oh, that's really funny. No, I really, I
All
liked
right,
it, you know.
you got to tell me what the fuck is Duck Detective: The Ghost of Glenn?
Okay, so this is actually a sequel. Last year, Duck Detective, I think it's called The Case of the Secret Salami? I can't remember exactly what it's called.
I do love salami.
So, these are basically I'll play the trailer while we're talking about it because I don't know if a lot of people know what these are. Um, um, no, I wanna loop it. There you go. Play, please. Thank you. These are little detective mystery games. They're basically like, um, like, sort of like, more casual more casual, like, Golden Idol, Seance of Blake Manor, um, Obra Dinn-ish type of games. Basically, we're going around and you're talking to people and you're gathering clues and you're having to, like, fill in a like little sheet or whatever, like a little, like a solve to solve each of these little mini mysteries and then a larger mystery in total. Fully voice acted, really well voice acted, really funny and cute. Um, and they're like a couple hours, like they like 2 or 3 hours each. Like I completely recommend them
Now you're speaking my
to
language.
people who like mystery detective games or whatever. Really great vibes, like truly, like no, not a bad word to say about these games, like at all. They're just very slight is the only thing that is about them. But if you've got someone in your life who doesn't play a ton of games, or like maybe a kid who's like into mystery stuff as well, like those kind of things, like it's great for that. Like me and my
Is it a little
son,
bit easier than, let's say, some of the other mystery games on our list,
a
like
little
Sands of Blake
a little
Manor?
bit like what?
Uh,
Sorry, I missed the beginning of your question, Justin.
so I'm sorry, is it a little bit easier than,
Yes.
I'll say,
Oh
like
yeah, yeah, yeah.
something
They're
like
very
Sands
they're
of Blake
easy.
Manor?
They're easy.
Okay,
There's like
okay,
just enough challenge to keep them interesting, but you never get stuck.
okay.
Um, Really good hint system too. So if you do get stuck, like you'll get out of it. It's like really, I really can't recommend if they're on. I think they're I don't I think they're on everything. They're definitely on. I know they're on Switch. I think they're on PlayStation and Xbox as well, and as PC too, of course. Really really fun. I like really into them. Highly recommend if you're into mystery games. We can cut Power Wash as well. I didn't play enough of it to really put it on the list. I completed Power Wash Simulator 1. Um and I may go back to Power Wash Simulator 2 at some point and play more of it. Um
Well,
I
I'm gonna tell you when you have to power wash your own house, this loses all fucking meaning.
they're just kind of zen. Like I just kind
I
of
know there's Zen games, and I can 100% fuck with a Zen game. Power Wash Simulator is just like every time I've even watched someone play it, it's like shit. I should go do that to the side of my house right now.
well, you got to turn off that part of your
It
brain.
it gives me anxiety.
Well, you do like thing is about the game is like it starts out you're doing like normal places and then like by the end you're doing like crazy ass like you're cleaning like ancient Egyptian ruins and shit by the end of it. There's like it goes places. It's just like very satisfying. Like I throw a podcast on and play it, or I play it like handheld and watch a um watch a stream, like a stream on in the background or a football game or something like that. It's like great for that. Where
It'd be great for that, yeah.
part of my brain to be engaged with it, you know? But
I
again,
guess for
I didn't play enough of it to really sum for it at all. So, um,
let
so
me scroll up and down this list because I'm like a second behind you. So, um, I spent about 2 hours with Ooh.
you probably basically finished it then.
I got pretty far in it. Um,
I think before you get into it, I think there are other games we can cut off this list before we cut ooh. All right. There
okay.
definitely are. There are definitely some games we can cut really quick. I just want to like Mario Kart World is not staying on this list. Let's be
No, it's not.
honest. Okay. Neither of us are Mario Kart people. I know people were real like they got some backlash. People were real down on it. I played it. I had a fine time playing it, as I have a fine time playing every Mario Kart game. But I'm not a good judge of this because like I find Mario Kart a fun game to play when I've got a couple people who want to play it with me, and we're like talking to each other, talking, trash talking each other or whatever. I will never pick it up when I'm alone. It will never be a game that I ever pick up. That's been the truth about every Mario Kart game, other than maybe Super Mario Kart when I was a kid and a little kid and I played it.
The thing about Mario Kart with me is I'm more interested in the versus mode when you have the balloons than I
Oh,
am the
really?
actual
That's so
races.
funny.
And that goes back to like the Super Nintendo version
Yeah,
of
yeah,
the
yeah.
game. Like I like where they're going with the series,
Hmm.
but like it literally came with my Switch too, and I played it a handful of times
Hmm.
with Jorah, and like even Jorah is like, eh,
Hmm.
like it's fine to have, but if I'm gonna have like more people over to play a multiplayer game, there are so many better games on the Switch. I feel than that game for a multiplayer setting.
The one thing I'll say is Knockout Tour is a really great mode.
It's a good idea,
It's a great
100%.
mode. It's a great mode, and the couple times I played it with people, it was a ton of fun. So I'm not discounting it. I think I will say this: Mario Kart World, banger of a soundtrack, like an absolute banger of a soundtrack. You listen to that soundtrack, oof, great stuff, really great stuff. Um, I think, yeah, but again, like Mario Kart to me again is a thing where I play. I have a select like group of like 3 or 4 people, like basically who I went to high school with. That if we get together, we'll put on Mario Kart and we'll have a great ass time. Other than that, it's just like I'm good. Like basically, my most experience of Mario Kart this year is my son gets really angry when I beat him, and I'm like, dude, I've been playing Mario Kart for 35 years. Like if you want to get good at Mario Kart, you got to play it more than just when you play me. And then like
Jorah beats me all the time. I don't pay attention to any of that extra shit you need to do. I'm just like, oh well, I got a red shell, so I'm gonna win.
I get people people ask me like, what you don't just let him win? I was like, no, I don't let him win
I don't let him win. What the fuck is wrong with you?
because you know how good he'll feel when he actually beats me. He'll feel
Fuck
great.
that.
He'll feel great.
Fuck that shit. Okay, you're hovering around peak.
Yeah, let's talk about peak. Well, you want me to cut some of the games that are just mine that that are
No,
not gonna
no,
be on
no,
this
no, no.
list?
We can talk about peak because peak's not gonna make the list. I fucking love peak. We played it a couple of nights. I would love to play it more. The problem with peak is you need to play that game with the right group of people,
Hmm.
and you need to play that game a lot.
Yeah, yeah.
I think peak is, if you ask me, I think it's one of the best multiplayer games of the year. From the streams I've seen, from like the little bit of time that we played it, Papa got super angry with me where we actually argued about it the
We
next
did.
day.
We did.
That game's great. Like, all I want to do is play more of it. Why it's not out on console, I don't know. Whenever it comes to console, it's going to do super fucking well. I hope to play more Peak in the future. I think that the game has a bunch of great ideas. I think that the clips I've seen of other people playing that game that show up on Instagram are hysterical, but it's not going to make this top 10 list, so we could just take it off.
And my
But
problem really is just like for us playing it is just it's a game like you said, like you gotta have you gotta be playing it I think multiple times a week, and you gotta really figure out what your whole deal is because it even though it is cute and funny, it is not
easy.
casual. It is not casual
No,
at all.
it's
It is
not
real
casual at
hard.
all.
It is really hard.
But listening to other podcasts talk about things that we never even saw, like the
Yeah,
cannon that shoots somebody up halfway up the mountain and then they have to come down and help you. Like that's awesome.
yeah,
Um, I definitely want to first of all, this game's $5.
yeah.
Like if you have friends and you haven't even just look at Peak. It, it's a lot of fun. I had fun that couple of nights, and I would love to play more of it.
I had fun 3/4 of the time that we were playing.
You got so fucking mad that one night, it was
I got so
ridiculous.
mad because it's a game about working together to climb a mountain, and Justin and the other person we were playing with just ran off somewhere else and left me at the top of a hill I couldn't get down because I had no stamina left.
You literally got shot down halfway down the mountain, there was no coming back for you.
That was long before. That was long after I was already mad. Anyway, really quick, I'm just gonna cut some stuff that like I don't it's only me and I don't feel like really super strong about it. Is the Seat Taken is a really fun little puzzle game. Basically, it's one of those like logic puzzle games where it's like, this person wants to sit with this person, um, but this person doesn't want to sit with anybody, and this person doesn't want to be like, next to a loud person. This person is loud, and you have to figure out where to place them, where it all makes sense. It's almost like Sudoku or one of those like, games where you're kind of making an X, like, and you're crossing off options. It's a cute, fun little puzzle game. If you like those kind of games, it's definitely one to play, but it's not going to make the list. Let's see. What are the other ones that I wanted to cut off quickly? Well, we can cut Silent Hill F off the list just because I didn't play enough of it. I've only played about half of it. Um,
Man, everything I hear about Silent Hill F is fucking awesome, and that's usually not my genre. I might go back and play this on a sale.
so
Like, I hear this game has some wicked turns, and the fact that you could play it again a second time
yeah,
is actually worth it.
yeah, no, that's yeah, very much so. This what I have played of it, um, the things I will say about it that I think are really good. One, the atmosphere, top of the line. I'm playing in Japanese. The voice acting is fabulous. It's really genuinely very creepy. And it's got some interesting stuff, how it plays with sort of like the Silent Hill formula. And also, like it's got an interesting little like a combat system that has like a lot of push and pull to it and things that you have to decide, you can sacrifice, some elements to do other things. It's full melee combat, so and it has weapon degradation and breaking. So your
Oh
weapons do break.
god.
They give you repair kits and stuff like that so you can repair your weapons, but you know, it has some stuff to it, but what I played so far has been really good. It really stuck with me like the time I played with it. So I think it's something I'm definitely gonna finish, but it's not something I can put on a top 10 list right now because I haven't played enough of it. But that's definitely one to play in the next year. Um, and I want to make we can start going. I think after I make one more cut, Justin, we can probably start doing some like let's turn the conversation positive and go like what can we put on our what's a lock for at least a short list after we do this
Okay.
one last cut, which I'm hovering over right now. uh, which is, and it pains me to do this, which is Metroid Prime 4 Beyond. um it's been a long we were doing the podcast in your old apartment when they announced Metroid Prime 4.
Yep.
We were doing I remember doing the podcast with you, me, Kelsey. I think Hugh
Like
was there. I think Matt was was doing with us at that point as well. Literally, I think the second clip of our like reel was Kelsey's like reaction to
I'm
the
wet.
I'm wet.
I'm basically Kelsey.
um, we did a long time for the game. It got delayed. It got started and stopped, restarted. And you can feel all of those stops and restarts in the game itself. It feels like a game that was starting to get designed at a certain time and then got rebooted and they didn't really drop the old like design ideas. And there are parts of it that are really fantastic. Like there are parts of it where you're in these environments and you're unlocking areas and you're getting upgrades and you're in these gorgeous it's the best looking modern Nintendo game from a fidelity standpoint, I think, bar none. Just great art direction. You these really moody, great looking areas, and it just the loop is this great Metroid Prime loop. And then there's this whole thing where you have to like drive a motorcycle around a desert and get green crystals, and it's just like, and it makes the primary thing of a Metroid game and a Metroidvania game, the backtracking, just a complete chore and a pain in the ass. And I will say, like, I was like three-fourths of the game, and I was like, man, I don't really get like, I can see some of like the cobwebs on some of the design here, but I don't really get like the real bad, like kind of press about it. And then the last quarter of the game, the end of the game is a tough hang. Is the best I can best I can say about it. I mean, it's not like
Okay.
I was never like, oh, I just can't stand this, but it was just a little bit monotonous at times. A little bit like, some of the checkpoints were bad. The final boss fight was like,
Oh,
there's
bad checkpoints can ruin a game.
there's a real the final boss fight has three basically stages to it, and there is where the checkpoint is in that three-phase boss fight just sucks. It just sucks, and it really made the end of the game like a bad taste in my mouth. And they really try like to do this thing where they're like, all these characters you've met along the way. Don't you care if they live or die? And I'm like, I absolutely do not. Like, I
No,
just care
kill them
about
all.
being Samus.
Literally kill them all.
I care about being the coolest character in video games, not fucking these like weird like soldier guys that I'm trying to save. So I still really enjoyed my time with it. It's a solid game, but it's nowhere near a top 10. So we are cutting it. All right. So I think we've gotten rid of everything that that both of us don't have any strong feelings about at this point. Um, so let's talk about things that we think are going to lock onto the short list, or even if you think it's going to lock for the top 10, we can even do that, and we can give ourselves a better idea of what how many spots we have left. But
Okay.
um, let's not start at the top because that's boring. Um, Absalom. It's a good. This is a good one. I think. Do you think this goes in the short list? Do you think this has a chance of making the top 10, Justin?
Hmm, this was one of those games that was hanging around in my somewhere between, I would say, 10 and 12
Yeah,
spot.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Absalom is a roguelike from the guys that made Streets of Rage 4.
Hmm.
It is a beat 'em up that is a roguelike. So those two things have never really been tried before. And I think it
I
succeeds.
mean, there's Streets of Rogue, but that's a little different than what this
That's
is.
that's different. That's different than
Yeah, this
this.
is much more like this is
Um,
like Hades, but it's a beat 'em up. Basically, it's kind of like the format
yeah.
of it is a little bit. Yeah,
And I think this game, I would have a more sour taste in my mouth about this game if we didn't have that last night that we played it,
legendary
where
run.
we was just like, we got up to the third boss once,
Hmm.
and we're playing this game, and we never like we got up to third boss once, and like I'll say the next 15 runs, we never got up there.
Yeah,
10 to 15 runs, we never got up there. And we're doing a run, and Bobby's like, "Well, this is a fucking borked run," and then we beat the game.
yeah. It seemed like a real borked run though. We were not in a good spot when I
We were
said that.
not in a good spot. We ended up beating the game anyway.
Yeah.
This game is very weird. They, like a typical roguelike, they distill powers at certain checkpoints in the game
Hmm.
where it's like, oh, you got to this point. Now you have this new ability that you can use. But for the first 7, 8 hours we're playing this game, it's like, what the fuck does L2 do? Are we ever going to learn?
Yeah,
Because we're banging our heads against the wall. I will say this game has fucking style,
yeah. It is great art, amazing art,
great art.
great
Uh,
animations as well, amazing
I
animations.
think this game might have in a year of absolute banger soundtracks, this might have the track of the year.
Great tracks. Yeah,
The Underworld King,
yeah, yeah,
the
yeah,
one that's done by Mick Gordon,
yeah,
is absolutely insane.
yeah.
But there are like, we're watching the video now,
Mhm.
right? Where it's a lot of like a 2D art. but we're not seeing is when they like all of a sudden decide to throw a little flair our way and be
Mhm.
like, your characters are just shadows. Everybody is shadows
Yeah.
in this like neon pinkish blue purple light.
They showed off, like, a little
Everybody is
bit
just a
somewhere.
shadow. Also, there's a frog sorcerer.
Yeah, that guy fucking
Like
rules.
this game fucking rules.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's a great game.
Um, so like, here's the thing about this game: we've beaten the game,
But
but have
we
we?
haven't really beaten it. I think that's
But
why
have we?
now that we know that there's, like, a whole second thing,
There's a second act to this game.
yeah, with new bosses and stuff like that, it makes more sense now that we got the power so late because knowing the game is maybe double the length that we originally thought it was, that makes sense to me. I mean, I think, I think there's not a lot of, um, co-op roguelikes like this. I mean, there are some, but there's not a ton. Um, they do progression really, really well. Like the way like no one gets more progression than the other. If you're hosting the game or you're joining a game, which I think is great.
Yeah, that's
Um,
fantastic.
yeah. Like I said, I think the character art is wonderful. I think the music is great. I
I
think
think this is one of
all
the
the
best
characters are
looking games of
so
the year.
different too. Like
Yeah,
they all perform and play completely differently from one another. So you really get a sense of like you can really figure out the character that you really like and learn to play them. And I think the game does a really good job of being like, oh, you thought that the character the character played like this, and then we're gonna give you abilities as you progress that really change up how your character plays and what you're able to do, and I think that it has like just something about it that I think is special. Um, and I think in most years I would be like, oh, lock it, but like this is a really unbelievable year. I think we should put it on the short list. I don't think we should cut it right now.
no,
You
I'm
know,
fine. I'm fine keeping this on the short list.
let's put it on the short list. I don't want to.
This is one of those games where I was like, could this be my number 10? And the only reason that I'm wondering about it is because we haven't seen the entire thing all the way through yet.
Yeah, we haven't seen all the way through yet. I get that. I totally get that.
Let me ask
Um,
you a question,
Tell
and not to beat
Kelsey,
this.
can you please tell Kelsey who's texting us right now while we're doing a live
I know,
stream
I know, I
that
am.
the video will
That
be on YouTube once it's over?
yes, I am working on that as we speak. Let me ask you a question, my friends.
Yes.
Let's have an interesting conversation.
Yes.
Where the fuck is Silk Song on your list?
Oh, okay. So we can talk about Silk Song. Absolutely. Uh, there are two games on this list. First of all, you played a little bit of Sands of Lake Manor, right? I forgot about this.
Yes, I did.
I played it probably, I didn't finish it. I played like 6 or 7 hours of it. I really like it a lot. I didn't play it. I didn't finish it, so it cannot be in the conversation for these lists. I think it's a
No, it
really
can't be in the
cool
conversation.
one.
It's awesome.
People don't know what this game is. It is a like Obra Dinn like game. It's like a murder mystery game at like a supernatural spooky haunted hotel. Basically, it looks like this. It's full like first person 3D game where you're talking to all these people and uncovering clues and solving puzzles, and it's really cool. Like it really really cool game. I just want to tell people that it rocks.
The only reason I didn't play more of this game is I literally had to play this game with my wife. She fucking loves games like this, and it's hard to sit her down.
Isn't it too spooky for her?
There we started it yesterday, and she was super in.
Oh, great. That's awesome.
So there are 2 games on this list that I am literally waiting for Angela to play. It's Sands of Lake Manor, and it is the Root Trees game.
Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. We'll talk about retreats in a little bit. So Silk Song you want to talk about, right?
So look, so let me talk about Silk Song.
You talk about Silk Song, okay?
I played about 15 hours of Silk Song.
Me too. 15 to 20 hours. I played it about
15
it.
to 20 hours is about what I put into Hollow Knight.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, hello, Kelsey.
It's
Um,
Kelsey in the chat.
she's in the chat. Here to complain.
Here to
Okay.
complain. Here to lodge a complaint.
So here's the thing about Silk Song. I fucking don't jive with games that want to punish you. It
Mm-hmm.
is if you have been watching these podcasts for the last 10 years, you know that I have a love-hate relationship with the Souls-like formula.
Mm-hmm.
Silk Song, more than Hollow Knight,
Mm.
absolutely wants to fuck you in the ass. Like, that game really wants to test everything about your constitution. And you know what? I'm here for it. I beat Elden Ring, I've beaten Bloodborne, I beaten Dark Souls 3. Yet, there was something about this game that just did not jive with me the right way after putting in about 10 to 15 hours. I got to a certain point where I was playing this optional boss. And I got to the point where I like, and granted, this game has amazing visuals, amazing music, an amazing world. But I got to this point where I was playing this side boss, this side boss, where I had to do about 10, 5 to 10 minutes of platforming to get back to the boss. This is a big discussion in the world right now about games not respecting your time. I have no problems with game being very hard. I have no problems with learning boss movements. I have no problem with learning the patterns of bosses and all of that shit. Do not fucking punish me and make me get through fucking a goddamn hard platforming to get back to your boss where I'm going to lose health along the way. I just don't have fucking time for it anymore. I don't. I don't.
I mean, but I think like what Team Cherry would tell you is, okay, so don't play our game then. You know, and
And
I
that's fine.
and I
And that's
think
fine. And that's why this game is nowhere near my top 10 list.
no, it's not on my top 10 list either. I mean, I think there are two
I
there are
I feel like I've heard more of these arguments about this game than I have about any of the Souls games. Is they make it even worse to get back to the boss that you're trying to fight than any of the Souls games that they're trying to crib off of.
I mean, here's the thing. I really don't think Team Cherry is really trying to crib off Souls games really much at all anymore. I think that was part of the inspiration for Hollow Knight, obviously, but you know, my problem, I don't get angry at the game for this, but um I am just not good enough to play this game. I'm not good enough to play it. I I I I got very close to the end of Act 1. I played more of it than I expected to be honest with you. I played way more than I expected to, and I want to say like just speaking from a positive perspective, yes, like I had to put it down because I was like, I just can't. Like I can't. Like I'm just too stressed out. It would stress me out. Like I would get like I would finish playing a section and at the end of a night, and I would be like on the verge of like anxiety attacks. You know, from how tense I was playing it. That being said, when I stopped playing it, I was kind of like, man, I wish I could play a game that did engross me as much as this game engrossed me when I was jiving with it. You know, when like before I really was, and I did have a point where it wasn't a thing where I was like smacking my head against something and I was like, I'm just giving up. Like if that wasn't what happened, I was sort of like on my way to the next thing and I sort of stopped playing it for a couple days for reasons just not to do with the game. And then I was sitting there and I was like, you know what? The last thing I want to do is right now pick up Silk Song and go back and hurt myself. You know, Team Cherry made exactly the game they wanted to make. And you know, they have if you read interviews with them, they have all of these reasons why they have the things that you're talking about, the things that drive you absolutely insane. Like they're intentional decisions that they made, like for reasons that they have. And you know, for me, I just had to be comfortable with going, you know what? It's just not for me. And then I have to drop it and move on. You know, like
But
that's really what it is.
yeah, I totally get it. But like, I feel like we've moved past that. Even in like Elden Ring and stuff like that, it's like the run back to the bosses were not that bad. And
There's actually no bad runbacks in Elden Ring at all, but I think
this game is just like fucking obnoxious with them, where it's just like, cool, I've lost already 2 pips of health to go into this boss fight, and like everything else about the game, like I can fucking jive with the hard boss. I really can. Like I was enjoying the game, but it's just like, man, some of these runbacks are like just like I don't need to spend 5 minutes running back, doing platforming, possibly losing health to get to a boss. Like we've moved beyond that.
but they for the
We've moved beyond that.
but what you're saying and
There's no good reason for it.
they have an artistic reason for it. They want to do it like that.
'Cause they wanna, like, test your patience. It's like,
they do
"Guys,
want to test your patience.
this game's hard enough without having to do that."
But the
Like,
thing,
it really is. Even From Souls have been like, "You know what? You're right. A little bit much."
but what I think is what you're thinking though is like
Sorry.
you're thinking like a group like you this team this group of people have no interest in what the industry has been doing, what the like popular thing is to do. That's not what they want to do. They want to do what they want to do. They want to make the game they want to make. And they have the cachet to do it because of how popular both Hollow Knight and this game are.
100%. And they could do it.
And I think we all need to just get comfortable being like, okay, I don't really, this is not my thing, and I'm just not gonna play it, or I'm gonna move on from it. I think being like, you know what, the rest of the industry isn't doing this anymore, you shouldn't do it, is like, then you just get this industry that's all like homogenized, and that's not what I want. If these people want to do this, that's fine. It's gonna turn some people off, and it's gonna really excite some people. You know, I have friends who put like 130 hours into this game and wish they could still be playing it. You know what I mean? And it's like that's
But I
great for
don't think
them.
if you ask those friends that put 130 hours into the game if they love the 5-minute runbacks to bosses, they would be like, "Yes, I absolutely love
I
those."
think
Like,
they love
those
all
are
of it,
just
Justin. I think they love all of
but
it. You know, and I
okay.
think like what Team Cherry says is like they want you to know the world backwards and forwards, and that's why they
Trust me,
do. They like,
if you're dying at a boss, so let's say 10 to 15 times, I know the run back. I know the run back, and you're asking me to just perfect this
that's what they're asking you to
every
do.
time like, it's just
That's what they're asking you to do. And if that's not for you, then you don't do it. It wasn't for me, so I don't do it. You know. And I think like and I think that's a big part of it. I just think it's being comfortable going like, I mean, but the thing that I think is funny for you is someone who, and I talk about this all the time with you, and you love roguelikes so much, which literally are you die and you have to run back the entire game.
but it's not the same. You're not doing the same. Like, yes, you're going the same areas, but you have a completely different loadout. You have a completely different build. You're getting stronger every time. This isn't that. This is we're going to make something that's very difficult, and these bosses are extremely difficult. I'm watching this video right now. I didn't see half of these bosses. I saw some of them, right?
Yeah.
They're great fucking bosses.
Yeah.
Like, if you put me outside the door, if this boss is super fucking hard, I have no problem spending 30, 40 tries trying to beat the boss, but asking me every time to like run back 5 minutes to this boss, right? Run back 5 minutes to this boss where every ounce of my skill is being put to the test.
Hmm.
And it's like, well, you didn't do this extremely hard platforming challenge right. Like a lot of people talk about, like, you're just wasting my time. You're not respecting my time and a lot of these podcasts that I've listened to where it's just like, I want to love this game, but you're not respecting my time. I don't have 1,000 hours to put into this game to absolutely master it. I'm like in between those two things. Put me on a fucking I made it to the boss star. Put me outside the boss star and let me just master the boss
But that's not what they want.
without
Again, I don't want to. We're going in a circular logic of a game that it's not going to be
yeah.
on this top 10. But I don't. That's not their intention. That's not what they want to do.
This could potentially be one of the greatest Metroidvanias ever made. And it's so frustrating that I can't get there because it's like I don't have the time in my
Yeah.
fucking
You
an
gotta you
hour and
gotta
a half
respect your
every
own
night.
time. You gotta respect your own time.
I'm gonna beat this game over
Don't
the
ask
head with
them
my
to respect
keyboard.
your time for you. You
All right,
gotta.
pick another game. Pick another game.
Kelsey says, "Isn't this the point of this game?" Yes, Kelsey.
Kelsey, play a video game in 2025.
That's the point of the game. All right. We're gonna
I love you.
let's start putting games that let's go over our absolute locks for shortlist. I mean, Clear Obscura is gonna be on the shortlist, so we're not even gonna play around with that. Hades 2,
What is
it's
it?
gonna be on the shortlist. Avowed, it's gonna be on the shortlist. We'll talk about these games. You know?
5 minutes of Skyrim is not a game in 2020. Kelsey, I'm reading that V.E. Schwab Magical Powers series. I'm in the second book. It's good.
um, all right, let's go some more slam dunks here. Dispatch is going to be on our short list, so let's move it
This
there.
actually going to be on the short list.
Death Stranding 2 is going to be on the short list.
Yes, it is.
Okay. Citizen Sleeper is going to be on the short list. Ghost of Yote is going to be on the short list, right?
Okay. Okay. We'll
I mean,
talk
these are
about
short
those.
lists. We're going to go to the short list and then
Sure.
we're going to work that into the top 10. Okay. Um, all right. Are there any more slam dunks on here for short list that both of us would agree are, um,
I would put Blueprints on the short list.
so let's talk about blueprints. I'm not going to I'm not going to sit here and tell you I'm not going to put it on the short list, Justin, obviously, but let's talk about it for a second. The way you feel about Silk Song is how I feel about blueprints,
Okay, well, you have all the wrong opinions about everything.
which is just like, which is just like, I know how to solve your puzzle game. Don't make me play a fucking roguelike to solve a puzzle.
Jo
And I know there's ways to mess with the RNG and get get the things that you want, but I played this game for 35 hours. Okay? I never got into the fucking room.
What?
And I know that that's like that's where the game starts or whatever, you know? Like and then there's a whole other game to play after you get into the extra room or whatever. I know.
I I I'm going to fight for this game very hard. We should move this conversation to a little bit
Okay.
later.
All right. But I'm just saying that right now.
I got it. I got you. Um, you'll be shocked where that game ends up on my list.
I'm sure it's quite high on your
Do you
list.
wanna talk about Split Fiction?
Do we want to talk about it now, or do we? Oh, do are we? Are we thinking we should talk about it later?
Split Fiction is not in my top 10 of
Oh,
the year.
okay.
I think
Alejandro says after 20 plus hours, I know that I hate blueprints.
okay, I'm here to correct everybody's opinions about Blueprints.
um,
So,
Split Fiction is also not on my top 10.
okay, so let's talk about
It
Split
just
Fiction for a
missed it, to
second.
be honest with you. It just missed it.
I It's in that range for me where it's like it could end up at 10, it could end up
Yes.
at 14.
Yes.
Here's the thing about Joseph Eric games that I've learned. They are exceptional co-op games
Mhm.
that last 25% too long. There is a point when we hit 75% done, 75% done with the story where I'm like, I'm done. I'm done with this. I want it to be over. Now, what separates this game from It Takes Two is the final act of this game is probably the best thing that we played together this year.
But Justin, we didn't kill a little toy elephant who begged for
We
its
didn't
life.
kill a little toy elephant, but we did some other shit.
Mhm. We did.
Um, these games are written like Joseph Farah thinks they're going to win an Academy Award, and it's some of the most cringe shit in the world. Like the themes are there, and it's like shit. We've seen these themes in 1,000 other pieces of media. I will say the game itself is fun. You and I chose to do every bit of side content we could
The
do with
game is
this
fun
game.
as hell.
It's super fun. But it is just a little bit too long, but it saves itself with an excellent
It's got the best level
final
of the year. It's got the best level of the year.
by far,
100%.
by far.
The last level of the
Um,
game is
the last level of the game
unbelievable.
is unbelievable. I
Yeah.
showed it to Angela and she thought it was incredible.
Yeah. Mhm.
Um, but I think the middle to like I would say 40 to 70% of this game, like when playing through it, it's just his games are just a little bit too long. I felt the exact same thing about It Takes Two. It's just too long.
I didn't feel like I feel that way about It Takes Two. I didn't feel like this was too long, but I will say every time they spoke, I wanted to just like go blah, 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 so I didn't have to hear what they were saying.
Yeah.
I really wish, and I know, listen, I'll take the bad story if he makes games with this good of gameplay and co-op ideas.
I agree with you.
It's
I'm
kind
there
of
with you on
crazy.
that.
It's kind of crazy how every single level has some different mechanic that you do. It's crazy.
And
It's got to be so hard to design.
it looks good.
It,
It looks great
it looks great.
in some instances.
Yeah.
But I feel like each individual level is just like 15 to 20% too long.
Okay, we know
It's
you
like,
think the
okay,
game is too long, Justin.
I know, but we've just been dealing with this shtick for a little bit too long. That's my complaint with it.
I get it.
Otherwise,
I get it.
otherwise, the gameplay, I could care less about the story. You and I are
But
not
I
really
really
here for
don't
the
want to listen.
story.
I will say this. Like, I wish he didn't care so much about story, but
Yes.
I think because he's not very
He
good at
knows
it.
what he's doing with gameplay.
Yes. And he's got that thing about him where he really thinks that he is good at it. He thinks that he's good at doing story, and he's just not. But I will say this: I think, when we finished the game back whenever we finished it, I was like, I can't see how this wouldn't be on my top 10. And it was like really high on my top 10 when we first finished it. Because that last level, I just want to just
That last
emphasize,
level is something special.
if you're not gonna play it,
It's the best thing they've done.
if you're not gonna play it, just watch somebody play it because it is unbelievable. And there's a couple of things too, like that
But I
pinball
think what
thing
makes
that we did.
I think what makes it unbelievable is the fact that this, like, uh, 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 I guess we have to describe it. The entire time, and just like all their games, it's split down the middle,
Yeah.
and it's my screen and Bobby's screen. I'm seeing what
Well, I
Bobby's
should say, like,
doing.
I don't want to spoil the last level if
I
people
think it kind like
if it's not going to be on the top 10, Justin, we don't need to get into specifics. We're
I
not
will
we're,
say
you
they subvert what's happening in the entire
yes.
game happening in the entire game. They subvert it in the last level, where it's just like, "What the fuck? I could do all this shit that I could never do before," and that's great.
It's
It is
true
a
next gen shit. Is like really what it is.
yeah,
You're like, I can't believe that they're able to do this.
yeah,
And
and
that Justin and I are seeing the same thing at the same time right now. Like that's the
yeah.
other thing that's kind of crazy about it. Um like really fun game. Like I said, I again, it's kind of proves again how good this year was because most other years this would have easily been like, oh, my number
Yeah,
10,
this
my
would be a
number
number 10
9,
game.
my number 8, my number,
Yeah,
like it would have definitely fit into that slot. Much like I feel like if I went back and look at my list from the Takes Two year, it's probably around that like slot.
I mean,
Um,
also, there was no book of love telling
there
us
was
why
no
the
Book of
Force was
Love, which
great.
is really disappointing. We're cutting that.
All right, let's go through a couple of things. Tell
Yeah.
me about N. Roger.
Okay, so Ann Roger, I think I don't, this probably won't get past the short list. So Ann Roger is a very short narrative game. It costs like again, it's like a $5 kind of thing. It kind of has like a little bit of like that Florence. Remember that game Florence that came out a few
Yeah,
years ago? The
yeah.
same kind of art style. It's about one of the reasons I did not say Justin, you really got to play this, is because it's about really tough subject matter that's not going to leave you feeling like happy at the end, um it's
I
about
love games that make me feel sad.
it is about you play as someone who is dealing with some sort of like dementia or mental decline, and you're playing from their perspective. So you're the game world is sort of like built around you in this kind of confusing way where like a lot of times things will get really cloudy and you won't recognize someone in this, someone in the scene will look different and they're actually like your husband, but when you look at them they look totally different. like like you can't remember how to do simple things. Like there's a lot of this stuff and like you can see on the screen like there's a lot of these like kind of weird like puzzle things going on, but it was really effective. It made me cry. um it is really, really good, and it's got a really in the end, it's got the thing where it's like, yes, it's sad, but it's got like a sweet sort of like, you know,
Okay.
zest for life sort of thing to it, but it is really tough at times. And if you don't like dealing with like tough stuff in games, it's not the game for you. It's definitely very emotional. But again, it takes like an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours, to finish it. And it really is a really special experience, but you got to know what you're getting into
Okay.
when you play it. We can cut it off the list because it's not in my top 10. It's right outside my top 10. It was one of those ones where like I was saying on the stream a couple days ago, there was like from like 7 to 20, there was basically like 13 games that all could have fit into the 7, 8, 9, 10 slots.
Yeah.
And this was in that conversation. I ended up I locked my top 10 in this morning and like it wasn't on there. So I'm not going to fight for it to be on this list necessarily, but it was really it's a really great experience. Like great is a tough way to put it, but it's a really affecting experience. Let's say it that way.
All
Um
right, I'm going down. All right, let's talk about slots and daggers.
so is this on
Is
your top 10?
slots and daggers in your top 10?
I let me just double check because I said I changed a bunch of things. It is.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
It is outside my top 10.
I will say it is my number
Just
10. It is my number
okay.
10.
So when we were talking about Clover Pit before, we mentioned slots and daggers. Well, we mentioned another game that kind of took the idea of Clover Pit and made it just better.
Yeah.
Slots and Daggers is a game that I had my eyes on for a while, and I started playing it during a snowstorm at work on my Steam Deck. And I told Bobby, "This game is the shit, and you need to play it."
Mhm.
And I did not expect Bobby to fucking jive with it and beat the game before I did.
Yeah. I beat it in like sitting like 2 sittings basically.
This game's rules.
Yeah.
Like it is what I want from a lot of video games. This game has a beginning, a
Mhm.
middle, and a fucking end.
Yeah.
Where it's like, "Hey, you beat the game. Congratulations." It's not very expensive. It's under $10, but you're literally rolling a slot machine and hoping that the weapons that you pick or the bonuses that you pick come up.
Mhm.
And then there are other bonuses that you could get to like fight these bosses that are hitting you. Um, but like as you could see on the screen here, or if you're just listening to this live, like it's a $10 game that took me about what did it be? What did it take you? 5, 6 hours,
It's
6 hours to beat?
something like that. Yeah, 5 or 6 hours, I believe, was what it
But
was.
you feel when those bonuses, like you do a road, like you do a run, you're like, okay, now I'm a little bit more powerful. I love games that are like reward that power meaningfully,
Mhm.
where it's just like, oh yeah, your strength is a little bit stronger now. Your health is a little bit more now.
Yeah.
Your critical hits do a little bit more damage. You get a little bit more money, and any of those things can help you beat a game. Like help you beat the
Oh,
game.
no, I played it
When
for
I
12
finally
hours, Justin. I played for 12 hours.
okay, so I was probably right around there.
Yeah.
When I finally beat this game, there's a shield that you could put up. I always had a shield with me at all times. And the run that I beat it on, I started from the beginning of the game. Because once you get to certain points, you could start from there. But I was like, fuck it. I'll just start from the beginning of the game. I was like, I'm going to do a no shield run,
Mhm.
but I'm going to get a lot of life steal. And I just absolutely womped through the game in about an hour.
Yeah.
And I felt awesome about it.
Mhm.
So, like, this is exactly what I was looking for. Is it one of the 10 best games of the year? No, probably not. But
My list would
it
disagree
was
with you.
awesome. Your list, you put it at 10.
Yeah.
If you want to keep this on and hang it around 10, I'm not going to
I
fight
don't know
you on
about
it.
that. Maybe we'll keep it on the short list. We won't cut it fully because there is that thing where sometimes we look at you look what you have left and you're like, I'm not really happy with what we have. So let's maybe,
Okay, that's
if
fine.
it's a
Let's keep it in
borderline,
the
uh,
another game's thing. Let's keep it in the Bammer
yeah, keep it in the
where we
camera.
might be able to pull it out of.
I think, like you were speaking about the game, I just want to say, like, my problem with a lot of roguelikes is I think, you know, there are the really great ones, even the ones I don't click with that I can recognize are great, that, are like, you can play this game for eternity. Like Balatro is like an eternal game, basically. You can play it forever, right? Like there's always something more to do for the most part. But I feel like lesser games often try to also be like, and this will now be your forever game. And I feel like most games cannot support that kind of ask, right?
No, you need to be special to commit that
Yeah,
ask.
this game does not ask that of you. This game is, like you said, clearly like, look, here's like the progression of like you can upgrade these powers outside of the game. They don't cost a lot to upgrade. It's not like Vampire Survivors where it feels like, you really have to like, decide what you're going to, spec into at the beginning because upgrades get more and more expensive. This is just like, by the time you finish this game, you have every upgrade. Like you have every upgrade – and, it really just becomes about you figuring out what you have to do to get over the hump of certain like skill checks that the game gives to you. Which is like the first time you get to like an enemy that's like or a boss that just goes right through your shield, right? Like it goes right through your shield and it does a ton of damage. And it's like, how am I supposed to get through this fight? And then you realize, okay, life steal or health regen. And then you start
Or
realizing,
magical damage.
yeah, and then you start realizing, oh wait, there are these abilities that let you, that if they hit, they roll the thing again, and then it lets you hit again, and then if you hit and then if you do, there's certain attacks that you have to do manually, like a targeting thing. If you get a bullseye with that target, it rolls again, and then you get to go again. And you start stacking all these attacks on top of each other, on top of each other, on top of each
And
other, on top of each
and
other.
like a good roguelike, the game gives you shit when you die
Yes.
to make your next run just a little bit easier.
Yeah. Um, but and you said like, it does that thing you said, which is like at the beginning, you're like, of course I need as much shield as possible. Give me all the shield. you know? But then by the end, you're like, I don't know, no shields. Get the shield out
No
of here.
shield.
Get the shield out of here. And then the thing that like I think because the game does a great job of also limiting the amount of weapons and options that you have, it's much easier to kind of build your deck, let's say, for lack of a better term, to exactly what you want it to be than if you had a bajillion options, right? And so in this
Yeah.
game, I was very good about like, okay, I'll start out with this, but once I get this upgrade, I'm going to use one of the the in between round shop things to get rid of one of these early game like things I have because I don't want that coming up when I'm later in the game. I want only these things to come up because I want to make sure I maximize A, B, C, and D. Really, and at the end they're like, okay, game's over. If you want to play more, we have like an arena thing you can do, and if you want to just keep playing, but this is it. Like, there's nothing else. It basically tells you like there's nothing to gain from doing this other than you can just playing the
These
game.
people knew exactly
Yeah.
what they had, exactly how to advertise it, and exactly like, they're honest about what it is.
Yeah. And this game didn't
And
do that
I
great
respect
either.
I respect that.
The thing that sucks is that it didn't really break out. Like it doesn't have that many Steam reviews. It just wasn't very popular this year. Um, all right. So, let's put that on the short list. Let's see. Anything else? You want Arc Raiders on the short list?
Yes, I want R graders on the
Okay.
short list, you
It's not in my top
well,
10.
what? Okay, we'll talk about it, you absolute psycho.
It's not my top 10. I'm sorry.
You wanna talk about Ooh? We brought it up before.
Yeah, yeah. Let me just cut. I have a couple things I can cut, Justin, just because I know they're not your kind of games, or they're not you didn't play them, I guess. Or you mean, but Sword of the Sea, you didn't play Sword of the Sea, right?
Sword of the Sea is one of those games that I just wish I had the time to get to. It looks awesome. I just didn't get the time to get to
I
it.
mean,
It's very Journey-esque.
yes, it's very Journey-esque. It's a gorgeous game. Holy crap, is it? Like, we're playing it right now. Um, it looks amazing. The music is great. I mean, it's the studio, the Giant Squid who did this. They did the Pathless and they did Abzu. It's part of the team from Journey. You know, Austin Wintory did the music. Who did the music for Journey? It's the most Journey-like of the games that they've made since they kind of founded the studio. It much, but Justin and I talked about this a couple times this year, and we're gonna talk about another game too, which probably isn't gonna make the list. These sort of like these kind of games, which are these like exploratory, you can't really die. They're really just about like the vibes and the
It's
feeling
a vibes
and,
game.
and like some cool like visuals and stuff that will come up. This game buries the lead a little bit on like it's really cool stuff, and like the second half of the game is much more interesting, like looking stuff in it than the first half of the game. And the second half of the game actually, introduces a little bit more friction to you as a player, where you have to at least think about what you're doing more than just sort of like vibing out. And I wish that stuff had been sprinkled out a little bit more through the game because I think the game would have been better for it. Because obviously they wanted to do that stuff because they did bring it in later in the game. So if you're going to do that, I wish they had sprinkled it farther back into the game a little bit more. I think it's a really, you know, good experience, and it's 2.5, 3 hours max to play it.
No.
So you can play it in 1, 2 sittings and you will have a great time. But it just lacks something of that like special sauce, to it. So I think we can cut it.
Okay.
Let's cut that. Let me just check something really quick. I'm just checking my list here one more time. Okay. What do you want to talk about, Justin? What game?
Well, I brought up Ooh.
Oh, ooh, yeah, ooh, yeah. This is a good time to talk about ooh. It's a good time to talk about ooh. It's a short. Again, it's like a one
Like
sitting.
4 hours long.
I think I beat it in 2.5 or 3 hours. I think
Whoa, well, somebody's so
this is
fucking
this
smart.
is not ooh.
That's not Ooh at all.
You failed me. Um, here we go.
There you go.
This is ooh.
This is this goes into that Metroid Brainia new category that is coming out in
Yes,
the last
yeah.
couple of years,
It's not fully so
where
because you do get like some upgrade to what you're able to do, but yes,
yeah,
there is a
I think you get one upgrade is that you can make it. You get a second bomb,
yes.
but it is a lot of like you have these bombs, figure it out,
Hmm.
like, and that's all you need to do. And the thing is, in a lot of areas, it's like, well, I don't know what to do here, and they'll like eventually, if you keep going down the path, will show you how to do it, and it's just like, oh, I could have beaten this without ever going down this path.
Hmm. Yeah.
Um, it's very interesting. There were I got maybe like 2 hours into it.
Hmm.
And then I got to the point where it's just like, oh, I see what type of like puzzle commitment I would need to do, where it's like, I need to put a bomb here and then fast travel here and then put another
Yeah.
bomb here and then
That stuff
fast
gets
travel
crazy.
here. And like, I respect that. It's just not for me.
I mean, that is like exactly the kind of game that I love,
Yeah.
which is like give me a simple set of tools and give me a bunch of different ways to use them in interesting ways and in kind of like a puzzle mode. And it got way more like interesting than I expected it to. Like what you're talking about like when you realize that you can, I'm spoiling a little bit of it, but when you realize that you can do what you said, which is drop a bomb and then fast travel and then do something and go back and then blow the bombs up, like to make sure to get you through something, like that's just like next level shit as far as puzzle design goes.
Yes. A
Um,
100%.
and the it was one of those things where I was like, I think had just kind of dropped Silk Song and was looking for something like, Metroidvania-esque that I could play, that I could like kind of like get done in like a simple amount of time. And like this was like maybe 1.5 sitting game, for me. It was great to play on the Steam Deck. And I really loved it a lot. It's not in my top 10. Um, it's in my top 20 for sure. But it's a really great experience. And if you like puzzle games, it's like a must play to me. It costs very little.
Yeah, it's like
Very
less
clever.
less than
Less
$10.
than $10. Very clever, very smart. I would definitely recommend it to anybody who's playing it. But we can cut it because it's not going to be there. It's I'm not going to fight for my number 19 to like be on our shared top 10 list, Justin. Um, all right. Ball pit. What's ball pit for you?
Ball Pit is my number 10 or 11.
Okay.
I am
Well, you got to
the
commit, Justin. Is it
more
10 or
I know, I
11?
know. So, like,
Because one has some cachet in this conversation, and the other one, you get the hell out of here.
I actually think it's probably my number 10.
Okay.
There is another game on this list that we haven't talked about yet that I waffle between just because of the list.
Mm-hmm.
The more I play this game, the more taken I am with it. When we were first talking, you're like, "Do I need to play more of this game?" I was like, "It's good," but like, but I kept coming back to it.
Yeah, I never even like. I just basically was like, "Oh, Justin said no," so I'm just like, I had a really bad time when I tried to start it, and I was gonna go back if you were like, "Oh no, this is one of my games." I would
I'll
have gone.
say in the last like 10 days, I've been playing a lot of it. And like, I had, by the time when you first talked to me, I was already like 5 or 6 stages in, and now I'm like 8 stages in, and I'm seeing more of the game come out where I can combine 2 different characters into 1 character and have both of their abilities. And some of the stuff, and now granted, there was also like an update that just happened where they added a whole bunch of new shit to the game. Um,
We can put it on the long. We can put it on the short list. I don't mind.
I haven't decided yet. Put it on the short list. I'm gonna cut one or another game off, like that will go. It's either between this or Megabonk for me. That makes
For
the
number
top 10.
10. Oh, okay.
Like what makes my top 10.
Yeah, it makes your
One
top
of those
10.
games is gonna make the top 10 for me, and I haven't decided which one.
Okay.
Megabonk is basically. Oh, we could talk about Megabonk right now.
God, like
Megabonk
it's
is
like
basically
me, Bobby Kryptonite. This game,
like
like in a
it is
bad
so
way.
interesting as all the years that we've been together, the different games that you and I jive with. This is Vampire Survivors in 3D.
Yes,
Now,
it
also,
is.
you did not.
It
First of all,
didn't like Vampire
this
Survivors.
you didn't like Vampire
I did
Survivors.
not.
Um, this game is just Vampire Survivors added with a completely different perspective bonus, and then there are other things about it as well. Um, it it does stuff like that where you just have hordes of enemy coming down. It also has a skateboard, a skeleton that rides a skateboard and throws out bones. This game does different stuff than Vampire Survivors. That's not a great trailer for the game, but like I feel like that was like the early access trailer for it. Yeah, this is not doing it any favors whatsoever.
Yeah, he's saying
Um,
that, but this is the game, guys.
it is yes. I wish there were like the game looks probably a little bit better than this does, not graphically wise because it's going for that PS1 aesthetic. I don't know what this stage is. This stage doesn't exist in the game. Um, I might let go of Megabonk and hold
Oh,
on to Ball
what?
X Pit because even though this game does some stuff different from Vampire Survivors, it is basically a Vampire Survivors clone with a different, I mean, down to almost the sound effects.
Hmm.
With a couple of differences like boss portals and this and that. Ball X Pit or Ball Pit, whatever the fuck it's called, is something different. So I'm gonna probably go more with Ball
Are
Pit
you telling me
than
to cut
Megabonk.
Megabonk right now?
I'm gonna cut Megabonk.
Oh boy. Thank fucking God. I was not looking forward to that conversation.
There's just something different about you and me where we look at games where the entire point of the game is play more than anything else. Um, like those type of games just jive with me. Like vampires, like those bullet heavens or bullet hells or whatever, like they jive with me way more than they do you.
My problem,
At a
and
girl,
Kelsey,
Kelsey.
thank you very much. My problem with the Vampire Survivors and Megabonks of the world is they don't like they're barely have gameplay. Like that's really my problem. They really are.
Oh, that's a little bit.
Justin, you
I feel
walk
like you're talking.
around and it shoots for
But
you.
you know what? But here's the thing: if I were to say a bunch of story games have no gameplay, but you're there
Yes,
for
but
the
here's the
experience
difference.
of the story.
I would agree that they don't have as much they don't have that much gameplay. I would totally agree with you on that. But what I mean is just like they, and I say this only partially seriously, but they make me kind of feel icky, games like Megabonk and Vampire Survivors, because they're so just nakedly like we're gonna light up your lizard brain with a ton of numbers flying up in the and like
There's more. I will say because you don't jive with them in that way where you're like you get bored with them very fast. When you are playing at a high level, those games are not just lizard brain. You have to actually think about the type of build that you want to get through the levels that you're in. Like there is a strategy to them.
no, I know
Like
that. I know there's a strategy
you
to them.
really need to decide, okay, am I really going to just choose like as ridiculous as it sounds, am I going to choose the bananas for this, no, that's gonna do me absolutely no fucking
See
good
what
in this
video
level.
games have done to you, Justin? What you just said?
Yeah,
Did you
I
see the
know.
words that you just said?
I know I'm not gonna choose the bananas, I'm gonna choose the bouncing bones.
Yeah.
But it does I think it's disingenuous to say, like, you literally play the game on autopilot.
I
Like, yes,
that's not
it
what I
should
said. That's not what I
you're saying,
said.
like, it's getting to that lizard part of your
It
brain
is a lizard
where
brain game, and what I mean by that is the feedback it gives you, which is yes, I'm not saying you don't have to make choices, but you have to make choices in what how you play poker as well. But that doesn't mean it's appealing to a good part of your brain. You know what I mean? Like that's what I'm
like, here's the
talking
thing,
about.
I don't really look at that game any differently than I would do slots and daggers.
No, but
Because I'm choosing the weapons that I want in slots and daggers, but I don't know if they're actually gonna come up in my thing. With a game like Megablock or Vampire Survivors, it's like, this is the build that this is the build that I'm building towards, and I'm gonna do everything I can to make that build as excellent as possible.
my other problem is like, and I don't mean this as much about Vampire Survivors. The way Mega Bonk looks makes me want to scream into the void. Like I just
Oh,
hate the way
I
it
love
looks.
the way that it
And I
looks.
hate all
That
the
that
I hate all the internet humor that it throws at
Okay, the
you.
internet humor you know what? The internet humor is a choice. I don't engage with the internet. I can't tell you what half of the shit says. They definitely leaned into the internet humor part of it, and there
This
are other games that do that as
skateboarding
well.
skeleton is in its feelings or whatever the you know.
Yeah. Like, sure, like, I yes, is that lame? 100% it's lame, but it's not something that I choose to engage with. Like, I don't really care what the character says when I live or die. It's like, when I die and it says get good or maybe skill issue, it's like, okay, sure. Like, all
Yeah.
right, whatever, man. But the actual gameplay I find to be like actually engaging, and
Um
knowing like what character should fit on what stage. We're gonna cut it. Like I'm
no,
fine
we
cutting it.
already cut it, but I'm just I'm just giving my like, my my general like vibe with these games is yeah, part of it is I'm super bored for the first like minute of a run, 2 minutes of a run or whatever.
Vampire Survivors was I sympathize with you, Vampire Survivors. That was a slow build up. In Megabonk, you're building up within the first like minute and a half of the game.
My real thing with
Also,
Mega Bonk was just it got like ridiculously hard, ridiculously fast, and it was
yeah,
just like I was just getting eliminated at the same point every single time, and I was like, nope, no, thank
maybe
you.
maybe skill issue.
It may be skill issue. I'm not saying it's not a skill issue. I'm not saying like these.
Alejandro makes a great point, and it brings up a game that we did not talk about tonight,
Oh
which
yeah,
is
Deep Rock Galactic
Deep Rock
Survivor,
Galactic Survivors, which is a fucking awesome game.
great game.
I'm playing it on my Steam Deck. It's Bobby has said it's what if one of those games didn't look like shit?
Yes,
And
exactly.
like it's great. Like they legitimately are doing the Fortnite thing where it's like, what if we took an idea and we just made it look nice?
Yeah, and also
And
so many
it's
systems in
awesome.
that game. Like that's what I
Yeah,
like about the game. It's like you're choosing a gun, you're choosing this. You have these other things where you can like drill through the. You can decide like, am I going to go this way or am I going to drill through this rock and get around these enemies? Like I like that, and I like how they integrate the Deep Rock like sort of stuff into it, like the ship coming in and you getting on the ship. I didn't play a ton of it because again these games aren't really my deal, but I did have a good time playing that game.
I played a bunch of hours of that game, and it's just an oversight on my part. I like that game a lot.
Okay,
It's
cool,
awesome.
cool. Um, okay. So I will tell you with the games that are these are like mostly my games that are left, to be honest with you. Um, you played Keeper, you didn't really dig it, right?
I just don't think I jive with Double Fine's idea of gameplay. I think Keeper is one of the best looking games I've ever
Yeah,
played.
that looks amazing.
I really liked bits and pieces of Keeper. There is one section of Keeper I feel is just too long, and it's when you're the ship.
Right.
Like, everything up until that point, I was like, "Okay, yeah, I'm totally in here." And when you're the boat, when you turn into a boat, you're like, "Man, this is going on a long time." And
That's where the
again,
most puzzles are too. I think that's probably why
there are a lot of puzzles
Justin
in there
getting
which
into
are
Justin's
not
thing.
which is Justin Kryptonite. Um, honestly though, like I felt the ending of the game was super strong.
Yeah, the ending is
I
great.
loved the ending of the game. Um,
The last couple levels, and this is what I'm talking about when I was mentioning and talking about Sword of the Sea. I feel like the game hides too much of what really makes it pop, you know?
Yes.
Like the last couple levels when you're switching, like just like Justin mentioned the boat thing. This game, you do not play as a lighthouse the whole game. You there are a point where you switch. This level ruled, by the way, when you're like in
Yes.
the look at like the bubblegum
Yeah.
cloud
This
one.
this was cool. This was super cool.
um, but all they show is lighthouse stuff, obviously. But like near the game, you switch what you are a few times, and like it has this great like very much like we're talking about sort of the sea and journey. That last level, it feels so much like the end of Journey when you're like
Yeah.
really like that a lot. I think this game, like you said, it looks beautiful. Um, I really like it. Again, it is one of these games that was in that conversation for like these 13 games could be in my top 10. It ended up landing like right outside my top 10. So I'm not going to sit here and say it's got to be on our shared top 10. Um,
I would put this at like a solid 15 for me.
it's like
Like
it's like
I
around
enjoyed my
13
time
for
with
me.
it.
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
close on it. I really enjoy my time. It doesn't overstay its welcome.
No,
Um,
it's like 4 hours long.
and you
4 or 5
literally
hours long.
just like you can sit there and just look at it sometimes.
Yeah.
There are times where I just stopped and I was like, holy shit. Like this doesn't I've never seen a game that looks like this before. Like that's how you feel sometimes playing it. Um
Yeah.
I also wouldn't begrudge anybody who doesn't play it because obviously, Microsoft is still part of the BDS boycott and there's a whole host of reasons to not like Microsoft right now. It's a shame for Double Fine, who I think is a really cool little studio.
Yeah.
But like, this game is really good, but we can cut it. I just wanted to keep it around for a while. Um, let me just look really quick at games that I want to talk about. A couple of these games, but they're not gonna make I don't, the list. I don't think you never finished Donkey Kong Bonanza, right, Justin? You never went back.
Donkey Kong's on my top 10.
You
I
fi-
have not finished it,
how far did
but
you
it is
get into
on
it?
my top 10. I'm collecting every banana in the game.
Okay,
I
but
have I have all of the abilities.
okay,
Um, so like I have all the bonanza things. This is an Ange and I thing. She's like, we're collecting every banana, every fossil, every this, every that. I think this game is exceptional.
okay. We're gonna put it on the
Um,
short list then. We can keep
it is. I will be open. It is probably my number 9 or number 10.
okay.
But like I'm enjoying every minute I spend with the game. It's just taking me very long to get through it because I'm playing on Saturday mornings before I go to work.
I will give you guys a thing. I would say the best thing for you guys to do is to actually finish the story of the game and then
Yeah, and then
because
go back.
there's like a post game thing that you can
Yeah, okay.
do. So like there's
But
every
I
reason.
have like 350 bananas right now, and I'm in this. I just got the zebra ability.
Okay.
I've collected every banana in the game to that point.
Well, you can't if you have all the abilities, you can't have just gotten the zebra. The zebra isn't the last one you get.
When I'm saying, well, the zebra is I thought the zebra is the last one you get. It's the ostrich, it's the zebra, and it's the Kong, like the big
Yo, you're
Kong.
missing the best one.
Okay. But what I'm saying is, in every level, I've gotten every single collectible because that's the way Ange
I mean,
wants to
that's
play
great.
it.
I mean, you're having a great time with that. That's fine.
We're having a good time. It's just taking me a very long time. I think the game is an excellent tech demo for what the Switch can do, and it's a lot of fun.
So I will say like let's talk about Omi when we see how if it's gonna make the list or not. Let's wait till then.
I
Shinobi.
can't believe we've been going this long and we're not even in the top 10
The next
yet.
part will go faster.
Okay.
Shinobi.
So look, Shinobi, I played a lot of. I'm probably halfway through the game. I think it's absolutely amazing. I would have no problem pushing it up. Is it in my top 10? No, only because I haven't beaten it yet. I think it's one of the better 2D character action games I've played.
Mhm.
Its combat is exceptional. It looks unbelievable.
Yes,
The only
we're gonna put it on
reason
the short
I
list.
haven't beaten it yet is because I'm trying to get through all these other games. But did I put a good 10 hours into the game? Yeah. It's awesome.
Yeah, it's fantastic. We'll talk about it more. Well, to see. I mean, it's not. It's like in the bottom part of my top 10. I think it's fantastic, but we'll talk about it more then. W- uh, let's talk about well, Justin. I mean, we're on almost a full Bobby game thing here, except for one of them, which you also played. So why don't you bring up one for me to talk about?
So Easy Delivery Company is a game that's on my wish list.
Mm-hmm.
when you showed it to me, I was like, "No, I'm still gonna play Death Stranding if I'm gonna play a delivery game."
Mhm.
Um, this game looks awesome. I have I'm probably gonna end up playing it sometime in the next year and be like, "Yeah, this game was like a really cute little thing."
So this game has tremendous vibes. I will say that. And it is like a Death Stranding like. You're like this delivery person in this like little like set of towns, and you're going back and forth between these very, it's like a mountain set of towns, and you're going back and forth. And you know, it also is like kind to you. So like if you have like a 3 package thing, you saw like a package fell out, 2 packages fell out. As long as you deliver one of the packages, you get the full.
I got well, just 1 second.
Yeah.
This game, you know what this game looks like?
What?
Fucking Megabonk. This game has the exact same graphical style as
I mean,
Megabonk.
this is a PS1 looking game.
Yes, and
Yes.
that's exactly what Megabonk is, but you
Yeah,
didn't
but
like it.
Megabonk's got a whole other thing going on. I'm not even talking about like the fidelity of Megabonk. I'm talking about like the character art and all that other stuff of Megabonk. I'm not talking about the
Old
fidelity.
heads like us will like this.
Um, you deliver stuff, you get money, you upgrade your car, but there is like a little weird story going on. Like the people in the town
Okay.
are like are something's weird's going on with them, and there's like this person who's like, hey, like if you, I need you to get to this place and you come find me, okay? Because I need to tell you about what's going on. It's got a great ending. Really chill. You know, it's probably like a 6 hour game. Like it's like super chill. I played it on my Steam Deck in bed, basically. Just loved it. Loved it, loved it, loved it. Again, it just missed my top 10. It just missed it. Um, it is number 12 on my list, basically.
Oh
Uh,
wow. I didn't know you liked it that much.
I loved it. I loved it. But again, it's number 12. You didn't play it, so it's not gonna be a shared top 10 game, right?
Unfortunately, this is like we're getting to the part where the games where you really liked that I just didn't get to.
Yeah. So I'll talk
Um,
about Despelote really quick because that's the one I like the least of these games. This is like an autobiographical game. It's about this kid who grew up. I forgot what country it
no,
is right now.
Alejandro, if you haven't heard of this game's on a lot of top 10,
Yeah.
like a top games of the year lists.
So it's in a, I
It's
believe.
got a great art style.
So you're a little kid growing up in this little like this country, and like I can't remember if it's Argentina. It's something I can't remember. It's not that. It's like Ecuador. I can't remember the country right now. But it's like an autobiographical game about this kid growing up in the time when this team was going for the World Cup, basically trying to qualify for the World Cup. They'd never qualified for the World Cup before, and it's about how like the whole sort of like city and country were kind of so enraptured in it and how it affected this kid. Um, and these little stories that happened. It's really slice of life. It's like it's really short. It's a couple hours long. It's Ecuador. Thank you very much, Kelsey. Um, really slice of life. It's got an amazing ending. The ending of it is amazing. Um, I if you have any interest in like narrative games or this type of like very like little bespoke slice of life things, I recommend you play it. Again, it's a couple hours long, doesn't take very long. It's not very expensive. Just really 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 interesting thing. Um, can't recommend it enough. It is, it's again one of the thing where it was one of those games that was like in the conversation, for this, and it just didn't quite make it. So I'm gonna cut it, but it's a big recommendation from me. A game that I actually forgot. I have forgot a game that I just realized because I'm looking at my like top 20. Talk about it really quick. It's called a game called Keep Driving, which is like uh,
Oh, I wanted to play this.
a roguelike story game. Like you're taking a road trip, and you have a car, this beat up car, and you pick up hitchhikers along the way, and they give you like abilities, and you upgrade your car, and you have choices. Like you're trying to get this music festival. That's like the set out objective of the game. But when you pick up other people along the way, other objectives become possible endings. And there's a bunch of different endings that you can do depending on what route you take. But it's really just a vibey, like we're just going from place to place game, except when you're going from town to town, like when you're driving, let's say it turns normal road conditions or road hassles into like battles, like basically. So you're like, oh, there's a slow driver, and you've got like these like status things that you have to try to clear with these abilities that you and your like passengers have. So it's fun in that way. What I say, what's so interesting about the game is that I was playing it and I'd heard from MinMax they really loved it. A couple of there, and I was like, oh, I like this. I don't get why they're so crazy about it, but it's one of those games like sneaks up on you where you're like, all of a sudden I realized I was like thinking about it, all the time, and I didn't know why. And I go back to it and I play it, and it just grew in my estimation as I went. Really, 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 really fun game. It's called Keep Driving. Um, Root Trees Are Dead. I'm putting on the short list. This is in my probably my top 5 of the year. Root Trees. We'll talk about it when we get there. Um, and let's see here. Consume Me is my number 7.
Yeah.
Um, I'll talk about this game really quick. Um, this is another like sort of autobiographical game about the person who created the game. It's about her sort of like struggle with self-image and eating disorder and stuff when she was in high school, and figuring out how to like live a life basically and balance her life. And you go from high school to college to like kind of right out of college. And it all leads up to actually when she decides to make this game, basically, is how the story goes. It's got like a kind of WarioWare-esque like mini games that you do, as you can see on the screen right now, like to do certain things. And it's really funny and also poignant, and weird, and like just really, really unlike anything I've really ever played before. And it wasn't. I was worried it was gonna be like a big bummer game, right? And it wasn't. It just wasn't that.
Okay.
So, I loved it, loved it, loved it. Big time. This is not showing a lot of what the gameplay actually looks like, this trailer. This is like I think maybe an older build, but this was 9 years ago. She's making this game for forever, by the way.
Wow.
Let me see if it
Labor
has
of
like
love.
a better trailer. There we go. This is probably a better trailer. Yeah, here we go. This is more what the game actually looks like. Yeah, you like balance the food on the plate. It's like almost like it's like one of these games where it's like one of these puzzle games where you don't want things to fall off. It's like almost like a Suika game thing or whatever. Um, and you have to balance, and you have this like schedule. It's also got like a day cycle where you have like a schedule where it's like you have a wake up time, you have like a lunchtime, you have free time, and then you have bedtime, and you can sometimes you have to study. Sometimes like you have like these meteors you're trying to hit, right? Where it's like, okay, I got a test at the end of the month, and I gotta study for it. I gotta be good at it. But I also have to work out today. So you have a bedtime you're setting, but you can delay the bedtime by like drinking a cup of coffee, and then the next day you're like super exhausted, and your next day is worse. So it's like it has like this like fun gamified ways of trying to balance it and stuff like that. So really, really good game. I love it, love it, love it. I'm gonna put it on the short list. We probably will. I don't know if it's gonna make the list or not, but got it. The last game we both played, Justin.
Pipistrello.
Pipistrello and the Cursed Yo-Yo. Where did this land for you?
Outside the top 10.
Outside the top 10. I just want to show you, if people don't know this game,
This
which
game,
they might
oh
not.
man, I have fucking so many thoughts about this game. This game is nearly one of the best games of the year,
Yeah.
and then the end of it ruined the game.
But can you tell them why you ruined it, Justin?
This game asks at the very
We're gonna
end
see
of
a
you.
little theme going on here, Justin.
This game asks a lot of you at the very end of the game
Hmm.
that you don't have a lot of practice with in the beginning part of the game. Now, you can lower the difficulty to get through it,
Hmm.
or you could play the game that you were playing the entire time and be like, you know what? This game all of a sudden is asking an obscene amount of me that it never asked before. I put 20 hours into this game. I really liked it a lot until I got to the final boss where it asks you to do all this insane platforming that the game does not really ask you to do before
The
that.
game asks you to do a lot of insane platforming, Justin.
It does ask you to do a lot of the same platform. It doesn't ask you to all do everything you learned all at
Well,
once
that's
at the
why it's
same
the final
time.
boss.
Yes, but also it does the dumb thing of being like, you beat the final boss. Oh, psych. This boss has a second phase.
Here, we're learning all the things Justin doesn't like about games because it's the game pushing back on him.
Yes, and to be fair though, like I'm not a big believer in being like, and this Bobby, you're gonna think this is a criticism of you. It is not, but
Pipistrello is
I'm
it's
not the type
Brazilian.
of guy that will will be like, you know what, I'm gonna lower the difficulty to get past like or change the what's it called?
This game has a lot of
This game
like
gives you a lot of difficulty options where it's like,
Celeste
oh,
like
well,
settings.
fall into a pit, you won't lose any health.
Yeah.
And like for some people, that is an absolutely fine way to play the game. That's not the way that I choose to engage with games for the most part. Um, and so like I got to the final boss and was just like, oh, I could bang. I wish I was involved with it so I can yell at Justin. Well, Kelsey, like play a video game, so you could be, but unfortunately you haven't, so you can't. Um, I'm just like not the type of person that wants to engage with games that way, where it's like I play the entire game this way, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, this is a super hard challenge out of fucking nowhere. Granted, could I do it? I absolutely could do it. But I chose not to in this instance because there were other games that I wanted to get to for this specific podcast where I was like, I'm not going to sit here and bang my head against the wall for an extra couple of hours to get past this platforming section. I saw what this game was. I liked a lot of it. I don't think it's like a perfect game, but it was fun. It was a lot of fun. It also has one of the like most banger soundtracks
Yeah, the soundtrack rules.
games we played this year. And that's totally fine. I don't know why Kelsey's yelling at me. It is the point of the game. Like I have no idea what she's saying.
I think two things. I think much like the difficulty you're talking about sliders, it's like Celeste basically. Well, Celeste had a very similar thing to this where it was like, look, you can turn off or turn on like certain things to help you get through something you might be stuck on, right? And the game's not going to call it out. It's not going to give you like a little baby pacifier or something because you did that. We want you to play this game. We want you to see the game through. So if you are unable to achieve the challenge we're laying out for you, you can tweak a couple of things to get through it. To beat the final
You know what?
boss,
Celeste is an excellent example of this exact thing because I played through all of Celeste up until the final 30 minutes of the game where they asked me to do some platformer thing I had never seen before. And like my hands just could not do it. Like just could not do it. And I was just like, you know what? Give me the thing where I could just float in the sky so I can get past this part. And like for me, this is just me. It ruined my experience of the game because it was like I spent 40 hours playing that game
you spent
and then
40
I
hours
got to
playing Celeste?
whatever, 30, whatever it was. I played, but like I got all of the strawberries or
Uh-huh.
whatever up
Yeah,
until
yeah.
that point, and there was this final thing at the very last, it was the last half hour of the game, and I was like, I just can't do this. They're asking me to do this new thing I've never seen before, and I can't do it. And I was annoyed because I had spent so much time with the game that I was like, why are you asking me to do this thing that I've never seen before in the last half hour of the game or last in Celeste? It was literally the last 10 minutes, I think. And this is kind of like that same thing where it's just like, you know what? I'm good. And like this is a thing that I've learned about, like I've accepted about me. It's like I'm totally fine saying, you know what, I'm good. Like it's like not finishing a book, Kelsey, that you didn't like.
But you did like it.
I did like
You
it
were
up
just like,
until I did it.
it would be like if you were reading a book you really liked and then there was like a big word and you were like, welp, don't know this big word. I can't keep reading the book. Close. Like, that's what it would be like.
No, that's not what it would be like. It would be like if you were reading a book that was like a murder mystery book, and all of a sudden in the last 10 minutes, the book went to Hamlet
Well,
or
I'm
whatever, like, or Shakespeare, and
Shakespearean
you're like,
language you're talking about?
or
Well,
Shakespearean language, and you're like, what the fuck is this?
here's
Like,
what I
this
want to
is
say.
not what the rest of the game
I don't
was.
think the game throws anything at you that it hasn't thrown at you by the end. It just gives you, it makes you do everything at once is really what it does. My thing, and we talked about this a little bit via text,
That's
it
bad checkpoints.
is that at a certain point, it's just like, I don't have the dexterity anymore to pull off what it's asking me to pull off. That's not the game's fault. That's my thing. I turned on the thing where if you fall into a pit, you don't lose life. Like that's what I turned on, and then I finished the game. It still took a couple tries because the boss is still hard when you have that when you have to actually fight the boss. It's
Yeah.
still hard. But that's what I did. This game is like, it's a Zelda like game, and I think Kelsey asked if Pipistrel was Italian. Pipistrel is, I mean, the game is made by Brazilian devs. It's like a Zelda like game. It has dungeons, but it's like set in like a town, like a little city. So
Yeah.
the dungeons and stuff are like the arcade and like a theme park,
A
a
mall.
mall, you know, like this
Yeah.
kind of stuff.
A soccer stadium,
A soccer
which
stadium, yeah.
has the most banger track of one of the most banger tracks of the year.
And truly has some amazing like movement tech that
Yeah.
what you're doing. Like
It super does.
you're grinding on walls like with the yo-yo and then using that yo-yo to like push off that wall, and you can ride the yo-yo in certain instances. You can send the yo throw the yo out as a weapon. You can throw it to collect things. There's just like an amazing amount of variety of things to do. You know, this again, this is my number 11. It came in Slots and Daggers just slipped in at number 10, right above it. But really, really, like if you have any interest at all in games like this, like a Zelda-like game like this, it truly was like a great experience. You know, you again, if you don't have a bunch of problems with making the game easier so you can beat it, anybody can beat it. So here we go. How many games are on our short list, Justin? 16. Not that bad. Not bad. Okay. Um, let's do our easy locks for top 10. Okay. Because we'll talk about the games when we're ordering them. Because we don't have we
Okay.
unlike a lot of years, we don't have a lot of agreement, I don't think, on what the order is going to be of this thing.
We sure don't.
So this is a top 10 game. Clair Obscure Expedition 33 is a top 10 game of the year. Hades 2. We both agree top 10?
Yes,
Okay. Avowed. We both agree top 10.
I agree.
We're not both agreed on Arc Raiders. We're not both agreed on Blueprints. We're not both agreed on Root Trees. We're not both agreed on Shinobi. We are both agreed on Dispatch, top 10 game of the year.
Correct.
Okay. We're not both agreed on Bonanza. We're both agreed on Death Stranding, top 10?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. We're not both agreed on Slots and Daggers. I think that's the only ones we have left that we're both agreed on, right?
Fair
So
enough.
let's just look what we got so far. We've got 5 games, right? That are now that are in our top 10 right now. So let's go here. All right. Let's start at the top. Let's talk about Arc Raiders.
There was a version of my list when I was making it up where Arc Raiders was my number 1 game of the year.
Even though
It did
we
not
haven't
end
played it
up.
in like 2 months.
The reason we haven't played it is because I could tell you hit your wall with it, and Arc Raiders is not a game that I'm going to play by myself.
I didn't hit my
Which is
I would
why
have gladly played more of it. I didn't hit my wall with
I
it.
Bobby, I'm gonna be straight with you. I can tell when you're disengaged with a game and you're going through the motions with it. When you're like, I'm just here to do whatever, man. Like when we don't have a set plan for what that evening's activities is, I know you're running out of steam with a game. This is a thing I've learned about you in 10 plus years of knowing you.
Yeah, I just for me, it's not I was losing
I
steam. It was that I had kind of like what had happened was I think we played it for like 25, 30 hours. I think we played Arc Raiders for around that amount of time. Um, you know, and I was still having a fine time playing it when we played it. But there was just like this like one of the things I don't like about the game is that it has quests and stuff, right? And for the most part, you can if you're in a squad with people Arc Raiders, I'm gonna play the trailer as we go through this, is a extraction shooter, basically. You're just you are loading into the map, you are, you know, it's PvE, PvPvE. There are other players on the map you can fight or not fight, and there are like there are AI controlled like robots that you can fight as well. And you're gathering resources and you're taking it back to your base and you're upgrading stuff and you're, you know, to build new weapons, to build, you know, new gear, all this kind of stuff, right? That's sort of like the
oh,
idea
it's
of
an
the game.
old trail. This is an
Yeah.
old trailer.
Yeah, it is an old trailer. Um and you know, look at that helmet.
Yeah, I know.
um
This is not actually what the game looks
no, this
like.
is pre-alpha footage. That's so weird. This is oh wow, that's 2023. Wow.
Do the launch trailer.
Yeah, there we go. We'll do that one. And I think here's the thing. The VE of the game The fighting the enemy AI I think is great. The enemy AI is like really well programmed. It's
The
smart.
most ag it's the most aggressive AI we've ever fought.
It's fun and tense to fight it. And I don't even think like the player versus player stuff is bad. I don't mind it. Like when you get into those fights, totally down for it. Absolutely. The game to encourage, I think to encourage players, um, and to help players kind of figure out how to play one of these games. Cause this is the first real like mainstream one of these games to really hit, right?
Yes.
They give you a bunch of quests and stuff to do, right? They go like, okay, here's a bunch of quests, get these materials, go to these places. I think it helps you learn to play the games and it also, facilitates a bunch of players sort of moving in on the same areas to, I think, to encourage players interacting with one another, right? Um, I should say the end of the loop is you extract and you have to like call an elevator to go down. That's also a tense thing. The thing that I think started to, um, you know, not, and I won't say I never burned out on the game, but the thing that made me go from being like, okay, like I am like into like what this game is doing and I'm into like the ins and outs of it and stuff to like, I'm happy to play this with my friends and have a good time was that like the sort of like resource loop and the questing started to become, I think, more of a hindrance to the game, to the fun of the game for me than an accentuation of it. Right. And we hit a good amount of quests that were like, you know, a lot of them you could do and you would do them together, right? Then they started these quests that were like, no, 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 no. There's one thing of this, and one of you in this group is going to get it, and you have to turn it in, and then you can go into the same map again if you want and do the quest again, and that person can get it. You
Yeah.
know, and
I got I understand that frustration.
that stuff to me was like just like not fun. It was like it was just not fun, and it had that feeling of like, look, we play like once a week, feeling of like I'm falling behind, if I don't do this. So like, yeah, let's do it because I don't want to fall behind, and I hate that feeling, that feeling of like
Yeah.
I'm just doing this
100%.
to not fall behind is like a bad feeling to have, right? And I felt like we sort like like less and less I was having less and less of like the tense fun experiences and it was much more about like, no, can we stop here because I need to get an old like microchip, and it's like, okay, we looked through all these no old microchips. Okay, do we just leave now, or what's the plan now? Like that's what a lot of it started feeling like to me, and like that was just not as fun to me as like, oh, like what's gonna happen? Are these people good? Are they bad? Oh, are we gonna find this thing? Oh, look at this cool location. Like that stuff started becoming less and less as we got farther into the game.
I think for me, this game exceeded in a way that I wasn't expecting it to.
Mhm.
When we played the beta, I was just like not into this game at
Mhm.
all. Extraction shooters are like not my thing, which is interesting because I like roguelikes.
Mhm.
But I hate the fact of losing my shit to another player.
Mhm.
I think the moment to moment gameplay in this is some of the best multiplayer experiences I've had in years
Mhm.
because of all the dynamic gameplay that comes out. Now, I 100% get what you're saying about the quests, but you don't have to do those. You don't have to do those quests at all. That's just like a thing. It's like if you want a breadcrumb to follow, they're there. You can just load into the maps, go explore places looking for blueprints for better weapons, and run into machines, run into other players, have those dynamic experiences, and that's where there was a time where you and I were like, I think we're actually hurting ourselves by doing all these quests in a row. And so instead, we went out for a couple of nights and we were just like, we're just going to go into a map and see what the fuck happens. And we had some incredible gameplay fights. We had some awesome, like, I feel like we're at the precipice and we've done this with other games as well, where it's like, all right, you've gotten to the point where you have to like you're at the edge, and it's like, well, now we have to go fight like these other machines where it's going to take a little bit more work for us to like take them down, or like there's much more risk reward, and you and I are risk averse in these games always. But I feel like it's one of the we needed to like bite down and be like, you know what, we're gonna go in and we're gonna do these risky things and we're gonna take it down. But those moments where it's like you're coming up on other players and it's like, yo, are you cool? Are we
Mhm.
cool here? And you don't know if they're cool. Like they're talking to you, and then my son shoots them in the back.
Yeah.
Like
We're the ones who aren't
like
cool.
we're the not the cool ones, but like that gameplay where it's like we're we're watching other people take down this giant machine that we can't take down, and we're coming and being like, "Yo, is it cool if we pick the carcass when you guys are done?" And they're like, "Yeah, no, it's fine."
Mhm.
Like that tenseness of when another player is coming and you don't know, but you have the open mic to be like, "What's going on here? Are we gonna fight or not?" I found to be super
It
engaging.
was. I don't disagree with you. I think that stuff is very engaging.
Like, I would gladly play this game for years to come based on the bones of it. Like, is it perfect? No, and that's why I didn't like. I really thought about like, wow, I haven't had a multiplayer experience like this in years, and this is the first extraction shooter to really break through to the mainstream and break through to me.
Mhm.
Whereas, like, could this be my favorite game of the year? But no, it's not perfect, so I didn't put it there. But I fucking loved almost every second I had with it, and this game fucking oozes style like in a big way. I love the soundtrack. I love the way the game looks. I love how everything is like of a period. Like it's got that retro future thing that
Yeah.
it nails down really well. Um, could they improve on some things? Absolutely. But like I feel like this is the promise of the Dark Zone and the Division. Like this is that amplified by a thousand. Like some studio figured it out. Like this Tarkov is for like psychos.
Mhm.
And other games have tried this and failed. Like I feel like this broke through and it's like made me interested in like, all right, what does Marathon look like now that it's coming out? Because when I played Marathon, I wasn't super interested in it either. But
Mhm.
after jiving with this, I'm like, all right, I'll go see what Marathon has to say.
Yeah.
But like I am a firm believer this should be in our top 10 lists.
Okay. And I'm not gonna. I mean, I'm not like anti arc raiders. It's just for me with these kind of games, and I think a little bit of your love of run based games and stuff like that comes into this because like you and I think also just like you know uh kind of checklists and like do six thing of these things and do five of these things and do whatever of these things I think is a very big thing for you. Like you love that stuff. And like for me, it's like it, it's not something I really like engaging with at all.
Oh,
Um,
and then I learned this when you were like, "How are you like a level and a half ahead of me?" And it was like, I open every container
yeah,
that's in front of me because I get experience from doing that, and that helps raise my overall level.
yeah. And you're
And
also like, oh,
that's not
you got to shoot five of these things. You got to shoot 10 of these things. Like I don't even when we're in a match, I don't even think about that stuff. I'm like, what are we
okay.
doing
Yeah,
right now in a match to stay alive and get the things that we need to get and encounter whatever we're going to encounter. And I think that's part of the reason why you probably took to the game more than I did was because that kind of stuff doesn't drive me through a game. It's like that's like if I get those things done, it's like an extra thing to me, you know?
I yeah, I totally get that, but I
Yeah.
will say like probably the best moment we had in the last couple of years of playing games together is that run that we did where we got all like you got knocked down by that guy and I was like, "What the fuck, man?" And then I
Mhm.
killed that guy and I got you up and then we're running, we missed that exit, we're running across the map. You and I are like, "Fuck it, we missed it." And then all of a sudden the elevator comes down, we
Yeah.
escape with 5 seconds to go. Like that shit doesn't happen in Call of Duty or it doesn't happen in
No.
Battlefield. Like moments like that you could get bits and pieces of it, but like that's like top tier multiplayer gaming right there. And like that moment alone was like, wow.
I mean, I and that moment's fantastic, and it's one of the best, like you said, one of the best moments I had this year for sure playing a game. But to me, it's like that was like hour 3 of us playing the game, right? It for me, it's like it's not how I feel after hour 3. It's how I feel after hour 33. And it's like the game's loop was definitely losing me a little bit because it had so many spinning plates. It was like here are 3 battle passes or 3 like battle passes, and then there's special rewards on each one of them, and you have to do different things to level up all 3 of them, and I know for some people, and I think for you, that's like, yeah, baby, anything I'm doing, I'm getting freaking experience points and I'm
Yeah.
doing stuff. For him, like, can I just like engage with the systems of the game and like do the tense fighting and stuff like that and not have to worry if like I'm optimizing where I'm going to do whatever? Like that stuff to me is just not as fun. And you say you don't have to do it, but in order to get the upgrades you need to go to the point where you're saying like just beating these giant robots, you have to engage with it because you need to be able to get those resources to do it. So it's like, and if you're not doing those things, you're making it way harder on yourself to get to that point. And it also leads you to a point where like, yeah, but my buddies are doing it, so I gotta do it because they're gonna be ahead of me, and then what are we gonna do? They're just gonna be doing that stuff, and I'm gonna be getting pulled along through whatever big mission they want to do. Like that's not fun.
But all of the upgrades in that game are just blueprints that you find, other than like your actual level where you're getting like slight bonuses to when you open a thing
But
or
you have
event.
to you have the resources to upgrade the benches and all that stuff,
I understand that, yeah.
and it's just like, for me, just for me, that isn't the sauce for me. You know? Like I, you know, the games that I've loved multiplayer wise, like really truly loved that I count as like my favorite multiplayer games of all time, it's never been about the like that kind of stuff for me.
See, the interesting thing is like the reason I lost steam with Destiny was because it's like if I'm not playing Destiny every night, I'm fucking way behind.
Yeah.
But I never feel that way about this. I never felt that way about this game because it was just like, well, we can just load in with a free loadout and just see what the fuck happens. Like, if we have a free loadout, we're basically the same. Like, we're not going in with anything, and we're just going in for the experience. Whereas a game like Destiny or like an MMO type thing, it's like
Oh yeah.
if I'm not playing every night, I am way behind my friends, and like I can't jive with those games anymore. This feels like the middle point between a game like Destiny and a game like Call of Duty or Battlefield, where it's like it's somewhere in between. You don't have to engage with all those systems. You don't have to run in with the greatest loadout. You could load in with a free one and just see what happens. Like
Yeah, but then
that's
you're but
why
then
this
you're
one.
severely limiting yourself at any higher level thing. Like if you can't, like if you load with free loadout and you get like the pistol, you can't even shoot down a robot. You know what I mean? So it's like, and I'm not saying that I love that they have the free loadouts. It's a great way to get around some issues that these games have in their bones, right? Which is like, I have nothing. What am I supposed to do? I can't do anything. I've got to like wipe or whatever, and start over again. But you know, again, these are things that are just like you're asking the reasons why it misses my top 10, the reasons
I got you.
why these are the reasons why. Is because yes, I do think like when it really was cooking, and we had some really those great tense matches, absolutely. I think it worked so well. But, I just feel like the loop lost me at a certain point. And that's why it became like, yeah, man, do you go do whatever you are gonna do, and I'll just like be your backup. Like I'll just be your backup. Cause like I just don't have the energy to be like, which of these 4 or 5 things am I going for right now? And like when we did that one mission where you had to like find those recordings or whatever, and you had to find all of them in the same match,
Oh yeah, that was tough. That was an annoying one.
and then you couldn't complete it unless you like dropped them and then left the match and then came back.
I'm not gonna lie, that was bad quest design.
That was a
that was
bad quest
that
design.
was bad quest design.
It was that one and the time where we were running around that like fort and you were trying to find those batteries to open the the thing.
Yeah, to open the thing to get all those like special blueprints and
Yeah,
stuff like that.
exactly. Like
That's
that.
like to me that was like an in world puzzle where it's like, all right, you got to find these things and bring them somewhere. Like it gives you something else to do in the world if you want to, but like again, you don't have to.
But we were doing
But
though,
I
and I'm
get,
just telling you, my experience
yeah,
was like,
I get it.
you
We
know,
never found them, did we? Oh, we did,
we did, but then
and
we
then
had to
we
leave,
ran like hell to get to the
and then
exit.
we
We
had to
made it,
leave. We had to leave. So like, we got attacked while we were doing it. Like
but we got out. We got
we
out.
did get out.
All right. Well, we talked about arc raiders enough. I would like to keep it on the short list. I would like this game to be in our
Well,
top
what
10
is it
list.
on your list?
Number 5.
Okay. I mean, that I feel like that deserves. Let's put it over here for now. It's not going to get cut right now. Okay, so let's talk about I think 2 games that you and I both have probably respect for the other, but either we didn't play enough of or, whatever. It's not totally our cup of tea. The Citizen Sleeper 2, Ghosts of Yote. What is Ghosts of Yote on your list? I know you loved it. I just don't know where you ended up landing with it.
In another year, it would probably be higher. It was 7.
Wow, I thought it would be higher than that for you.
It's a good fucking year, dude.
I know.
Like
All right, well, let's say this.
I
Let's get rid of Absalom. We know that's not making it. At this
yeah.
point, it's not making it.
No, it's probably not
It's in
gonna make
neither of
it.
our
I
top
mean,
10s.
yeah.
Yeah, it's gone. Let's get rid of that one. Um, okay, that's your number 7. Do you think it belongs on our top 10? I played 4 or 5 hours of it now. Um, I actually really like it. I think it'll be a great, like, I'm watching a stream and I'll play it on my portal while I'm watching a stream, like, kinda game for sure. Um, uh,
That game, like, I did not jive with Tsushima at all. There was something about it. Maybe it was just the wrong time that it came out, and I had open world fatigue. But when I knew we were going to do this, there was a couple of games that I decided like I wanted to take a look at. This was one, and Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 was the
all
other. And
right.
like I'm about like 4 hours into Kingdom Come Deliverance,
So
and
you're in the
Jesus
still in the
Christ.
tutorial.
I actually passed the
Oh,
tutorial.
okay.
Right now, I'm fucking running around in my underwear looking for clothing. Like maybe a little bit too much for me.
Uh-huh, yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
don't know if I could sim that hard. It's a beautiful game. I haven't brought it up because I haven't played nearly enough of it.
Yeah,
Good
yeah,
writing
I get it.
so far. Yote though is just like I don't know if it just hit at the right time for me. It's got that Kill Bill thing where it's like I got a list, I got to kill these people, and fuck anybody that's going to stand in my way, I'll kill you too.
Mhm,
Um, Much like Tsushima, it is one of the greatest looking games I've ever seen. It's one of those games that Angela like literally said, "Oh wow" to
mhm.
when she saw it. Like I've never seen a game that looks this good. Um, I will say the writing is good, the characters are great, the characters that you meet along the way are all, like, personable. It does the Zelda thing where you're not really getting s you're not getting you don't have a skill tree. It's more
Yeah,
about
it's
the
very interesting. I was very surprised. I mean, again, I didn't play, like, barely any of Tsushima, so I don't know if this was what it was like in that game.
yeah, it was like that in that game
Okay.
too, but, you're not leveling up a skill tree. Like, yes, are you getting points that you could put into, but what like, the points that you're putting into are basically geared towards the weapons.
I
So
mean,
in
there
this
is, like, a
game,
skill
instead
tree
of
too.
having
There is, like, that skill tree of, like, do you wanna, like, go spec into, like, combat or defense or
no, like, it's not like that in this game.
no, there's, like, the 3 trees that you can go into.
There are 3 trees. There's the Onyo tree, there's the melee tree, and then there's the survival tree. And you get these by, like, completing, an objective and getting to the shrine
Yeah,
where
yeah,
you
the
can
shrine
battle
gives you
the
the thing.
shrine.
Yeah.
But really what it is just being like, "Oh, when you're using a dual katana, you unlock this combo."
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Or
yeah, yeah, yeah.
if you're using the, like, some of the other weapons, like the kunai, you could do this. And with the survival ones, it's like you could charge with your horse into people, or
Yeah,
when
sorry,
you have
I didn't mean
protective
like you were getting
gears.
like points into defense. That's not what I meant to say. I
Yeah,
meant
no, no.
like but there are
Um,
different like types of skills you can go into.
there are different types of skills, but
Yeah.
it's not like congratulations, Atsu is now level 14.
Right, no.
It's
No, no,
more
no, no,
about
no.
finding these things. Like you could play the game without them.
Mhm.
It's gonna be harder, but, like, it's not like, "Oh, well, you got enough experience to level up to the next level, and now you're a level 12, Onyo." Um, I just really enjoyed everything about this game. Like, I'm, like, not that far off of the platinum, and I keep thinking about going back to it. This game is just very confident in what it is. Like, the way that everything is done just speaks to, like, Sucker Punch's ability to be like, "Yep, we're totally leaning into this, and we are super confident that all this is gonna be awesome," and it all is. Um, she's a great character. She's an ultimate badass,
Mhm.
and, like, you feel her hate towards these people that she's trying to take out. Um, like, I was completely taken with it in a way I wasn't expecting.
It's of my time I played with it so far. The thing I'll say the most about it is it's just a very easy game to play. Like it's a game that just like invites you to be like, I can just I can just do that one I can just do one more thing. Like, that's not that far away on the map.
Yeah.
I can just look, there's like a lead over here. Let me just go check that out. Let me see. It can't take that long. And they're really good about like nothing really takes that long. Like, you go like I went and did I cleared out like my first like fort or encampment or whatever And like, there's probably like 15 guys there. It took me like 5 minutes to do it. I'm not doing a
So
lot of sneaking. I'm
yeah,
not.
what I will say is later in the game, when there are 4 different weapon types coming at
Well,
you
I'm
and you need to
sure.
be
Yes.
constantly shifting between, like, am I using the bow? Am I using dual katana? Am I
Mhm.
using a single katana? Am I using the thing with I forget what they call it when you basically have, like, the thing on the string? And, like, instead of in, Tsushima, where it's different weapon stances, you're using different weapons to take out
Yeah.
other defenses.
Yeah, I got the
Um
dual katanas not that long ago, and the guy was like, "If you see a spear, use the dual katanas. If you see a
Yeah, you
swordsman,
use
use a
dual
single
katana.
katana."
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah, yeah,
and so at the end of the game, like, I have a fucking rifle, I have a pistol, I have
yeah.
kunai, I have smoke bombs, I have, flame bombs, I have, the dust that you throw at people, and those are just your quick ones.
Mhm,
It's like, I have a bow, I have a long bow, I have an actual rifle, I have 5 different main weapons, and you're flying through them on, like, you're going right through them on the fly. Um but it all feels so good. And now there are different armor sets, and it lets you spec into those armor sets where it's like, I really like using a bow, and that's how I want to play my Atsu. There's an armor set for that.
mm,
And then the armor set that I used was like, if you are correctly switching between, like, if you're facing this and you're using this, you're going to get more spirit back. And spirit allows you to do, like, quick assassinations and
mm.
this and that. It's like how you heal yourself. It's real good. There is an idea for this game I wish that they went with, where um, I don't want to spoil it here. It's
I
like,
mean,
you know
it's
what,
no fun to be
I
like, rewriting the story to be the one you wanted it to be, Justin.
well, there's this great idea. Like, she keeps talking about, like, this doesn't happen, so I can actually say it, but, like, she keeps talking about how there's nothing left for her. Like, and she mentions it many times throughout the story,
Yeah,
and she has
classic.
this ability to literally get up when she's dead,
Yes.
and I was like, it would be so awesome in this game where there is no supernatural shit,
Oh,
if at the very end of it, you find out that she literally made a deal to, like, be able to get up when she's dead to finish her quest, but they hint at it so many times, I'm like, "Are they gonna go this way with it?" And they didn't. And it was like, I still loved the ending, but, like, I would have, like, oh, that would have been so awesome if, like, like, because the thing is, like, when they're like celebrating when you're dead, and then you, like, if you have 2 spirit pips, you could just get up, and everyone's like, "What the fuck is going on? You were dead a second ago."
Um,
Um,
I
Game's
died
awesome.
and the wolf showed up and like
Yeah.
just out of nowhere. And then the first time it ever happened, right? I died and the wolf showed up and just like took out the guy who was like standing over me, and then
Okay.
it
Yeah.
rezzed me or whatever. That was really fun. I will say, like, the thing I realized, I was doing something and I was like, oh yeah, I forgot these games are like Assassin's Creed as hell. Like, I forgot, like, that's kind of what Tsushima's whole deal was. That it was kind of like, like the Sony version of Assassin's Creed, basically.
Yeah.
And there was just something I was doing. I forgot what it was. I think it was when I was sneaking around like a base and I was in tall grass and I was basically like, I wasn't whistling, but I might as well have been, you know, and taking people out. I just say I
Did
did
you
this
do
thing
any
where
of
I went to this shrine,
Yeah.
this Mount Yote shrine, and you
Mhm.
have to like do a ton of platforming to get there.
Yep. Yep.
And then I was like, this better fucking pay off. This better have a payoff. And then you end up like on the rim of the like volcano, and you have to like
Mhm.
go into the bed of the volcano to get like
Yep.
your ability. And I was like, okay,
Yep.
it paid off. Like, that's, and I got a new
So
sword.
there is a very big boss fight there, optional boss fight there at the end of the game,
Okay.
um, where you have to, like, it's probably the hardest boss fight in the game, and I haven't tackled it yet. Um, but that wolf, I will say, when you start doing some of those wolf dens, you could just, like, go outside of a base and play your little guitar, and the wolf will just show up with you. Um,
Hmm.
and the game has, like, some, like, awesome, like, quick time events where it's like, oh, you're assassinating 4 people at one time and doing these chain
Hmm.
assassinations. It's great. Is it going to make our top 10? I have no idea.
And
But
you really can fast travel anywhere you've ever been, which is
oh
kind of
yeah,
unbelievable.
yeah. And,
Uh,
like, it's with the PS5, it's just like instant.
yeah.
Like, oh, I'm gonna hit this button, and I'm just gonna fast travel, and it's great.
Alejandro asked, "Is Yote just a more of the same sequel?" I don't think either of us are really qualified to say. because neither of us put too much time into Tsushima, right?
From what I've read, it's just it does maybe that thing that Hades does, where it's like it's more Hades, but they refine bits and pieces of it around
Right.
the edges.
Yeah. So I don't know. I guess that's gonna mean, so let's say this, Justin. What game that's left on this list you think absolutely has to be in our top 10?
Can you scroll up? Blueprints.
Okay. I'm just gonna put it there for right now. We'll talk about it. And for me, that game is Citizen Sleeper 2 of
Okay.
what's left here.
I have been waiting to talk to you about Sinister Sleeper 2. I loved the first game.
We're gonna talk about it in a second. How many games do we have here now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We have 2 more slots. Um,
Okay.
which I'm pretty
Okay.
happy about. I thought that was gonna be 10 and we were gonna be stuck. So I will tell you, for me, what are the 2 games that I really it's there. We haven't talked about it yet, Megs. We haven't placed any of them yet, but it's gonna be there. Don't worry about that.
Wait. Hades is in the top 10, right?
Yeah, that's what he's saying. I say we
Okay.
haven't talked.
Okay.
Or, we haven't
I
ordered it
understand
yet.
what Mike's saying.
Yeah, we haven't ordered it yet. But yes. Um, so for me, the game that's left on this list that I really want to see on the top 10 is The Root Trees Are Dead. That's my game.
I
What is it?
I I have no issue with that. Everything about the Root Trees is Dead looks awesome. Again, it's a game that I'm waiting to play with somebody else, and we just haven't gotten to it yet.
Who's that
It looks
somebody, Justin?
awesome. It's fucking Angela. Like
No, I'm
getting her
just
to
joking. I'm just joking.
I need you know what honestly, you know what it is? It's a PC game.
Yeah.
So getting her to set up here in my office, I need the Steam machine to come out so I can just get a wireless keyboard downstairs. Um, this game looks awesome. Everything I've heard about it is great.
This is the best one of these games since Oberdin. 100%.
And Oberdin is one of my favorite games of all time.
Yes.
So like I have no issue. I trust what you're saying about this game.
Well, let me
Um,
just talk. I'm gonna talk because let me time to talk about it now, and
but
then we'll figure out where it's gonna go and rank. We don't have to talk about it again. It
it also
is
came out in 2023.
the itch.io version came out in 23. They
Yeah,
added
I
a
know, I know.
whole new game to this, basically. But it is a game basically. This you there this family, this rich family that owns like a candy company. They're basically like the Hershey's, basically, essentially. Get in this plane crash and like a ton of them die, and you've got to figure out like you've been hired basically to figure out the family tree of this people because you're trying to figure out the inheritance, basically who gets the inheritance essentially, and through it you uncover like ooh, is there some illegitimate children or like a child that isn't illegitimate that people they thought was illegitimate that might actually be like heir to the fortune, you know? Um, and you do this stuff. You do this stuff like you have this old timey like web interface, and you can search things. And
Old timey.
yeah, and you can highlight stuff and put it in a notebook. And
So
there's
the
also
engineers
like
look like people.
periodicals that you can find. There's all this kind of stuff. You get pictures. There's like puzzly stuff. You could, it has very the Oberdin stuff for like, oh, I'm trying to identify who this person is. We put their picture here, and then we figure out what their name is and what their occupation is. That's what you got to figure out. Because you got to find their picture, figure out what their name is and what their occupation is, essentially. But it has this great notebook system where you highlight stuff and it puts it in a notebook for you, and you can just click on that highlight and it'll take you right back to like that search thing that you're looking for. Also, this is a great thing of being like, hey, um, there's this article. We found this long newspaper article. Here's the relevant portion. You can read the whole thing, but nothing else has any clues in it. It will just tell you, like, so you don't have to waste your time, essentially. It also goes like, okay, here's a bit of evidence. It has like 7 connections that you can get from it. And as you find each one, it will count it down. So you know when a piece of evidence is done. Like you don't have to keep going back to piece of evidence once that number is at 0, basically. Really, really smart in that way. It's just great. It's like a great one of these games. Fantastic. Just fantastic. All right. So, do we have one more slot? We have
We
one
have
more
one more
slot.
slot.
Okay. Okay.
Hmm.
So let's go over like I mean, it's not a math thing, but let's just go over like what these games are numbered on our list. So this is my number. Shinobi's my number 9. Konsumi's my number 7. And Slots and Daggers my number 10. What is Bonanza's? What, your number 10?
Yeah.
I know you actually said it was in
Number
your top 10. I don't think you told me what number it was.
It was my number 10.
It was your number
Like
10.
9 and 10 for me are interchangeable between Bonanza and
Ball Pit.
Ball Pit.
Okay. Um. Uh. What do you feel most passionate about trying to get on left on this list, Justin? On the top 10.
I think Bonanza's really good. I have not seen all of it, so I can't speak to it. I have seen all of Yote, Slots and Daggers. I am like 30 hours in the Ball Pit, and I'm like 5 hours into Shinobi.
Right. So what
Um,
I would say is like I don't if Bonanza's your number 10 and Yote is your number 7, I don't know how we can put Bonanza on this list over Yote.
the thing is, you've played Bonanza.
I have, but honestly, I mean, I liked Bonanza quite a bit. I didn't love it. I wasn't gaga for it.
Okay.
If it missed this list, I would not be upset.
Okay.
You know, um,
Then in that case, then I would say let's put Yote in
you think Yote
because
in?
Yote is I think one of the better open world games I've played in the last couple of years.
And I think like to get to consensus, I mean, I think that's fine. Like I would put Consume Me probably over it, but you haven't didn't touch Consume Me. At least I've touched Yote.
Unless you want to put Slots and Daggers there because we
Nah,
both really like
I
it.
really like Slots and Daggers, but I feel like you're more into Ghost of Yote than I was into Slots and Daggers. And also, I feel like what I've played of Yote, I really, really like a lot. You know, so I really don't. If I hadn't put time into it, I might be a little bit more ho hum about it. But I put enough time into it where I'm like, okay, there's something to this. Like I can feel the thing about it. So
Okay.
I'm okay putting that into the top 10.
All
Um,
right, then we'll do that. All right, we've got a top 10.
we got a top 10. Now we just have to order this thing.
Oh, Jesus Christ, this is going to be difficult.
Okay, so
This might be one of the craziest lists we've ever tried to order.
you're probably right about that. Let's do the bottom half of the list first.
Okay, Yote just got in. Let's put it at 10.
Okay. Um. Okay, we're gonna put you at 10, Yote. That okay? Yes. Okay, Yote's at 10 right now. Um. So let's just go. I guess there's some of these games we haven't even talked about yet. So let's just talk about some of these games really quick because I don't want to do this thing where we talk about all the games.
Where do you want to start? Where do you want to start? We
Let-
haven't talked about
let's
most
just
of
start
these.
here. Let's start here because we can do these 3. We can knock out these 3 right now. Talk about
Okay.
them. Citizen Sleeper 2, Starward Vector. The last game of the year we did, 2022, was when Citizen Sleeper 1 came out. And I said then, any other year that wasn't a year where one of my top 5 favorite games of all time probably came out in Elden Ring, Citizen Sleeper would have been the easy number 1. But my number 1 with a bullet, you know? And Citizen Sleeper 2 came out very early this year, and I just like didn't play it for whatever reason until a few weeks, like last week, basically. I was like, no, I need to play through the sequel to, you know, my number 2 game of 2022. I've got to play through it before we talk about this. I will not forgive myself if I don't play through it, right? And I played through it, and while I did not like it as much as I liked Citizen Sleeper 1, and I'll tell you the main reason why is one of the things I loved about Citizen Sleeper 1 was that you were in that one space station the whole time, and you really like became a part of that community, and you got to know all these people, and you got really invested in like this home that you were like creating for yourself, right? Like that's what I loved about that game. It's like, oh man, I felt like terrible when I couldn't get that person on the ship with their kid. You know, like that,
Oh, God.
like
Yeah,
that whole thing, you know? This game is a little different where you are basically you have like you're on a ship and you're kind of going to a bunch of different space stations. And so there's a couple different like mechanics going on where you still have the dice mechanic where you slot them into different, you know, things and you get, good results or bad results. And there's different playable characters who have different, like a better perks and different categories now. So you have to pick one, and each one of them has one of the stats that they don't get any points into. You can't even do it. Like you get penalized for using it. Um, so that's different, and then you have this ship that you go on. You go to these different space stations, and there's fuel. You have to buy fuel and supplies, and like you go off on these um like basically bounties or whatever, these submissions where it's like a self-contained thing where you usually have like a timer going on you, and you have like supplies that like you can have 5 supplies, and once those go down to 0, you become starving and like you start losing energy every day and your stress starts going up every day. It has all of those citizen sleeper mechanics where it's like, it's like giving you very much like trying to sim for you like how difficult your life is, right? Basically that's like what it is. Um and I really liked all of those things, but it meant that like the like one-on-one sort of like stories, except for like your couple of your crewmates, weren't as, I think, they didn't hit me as much as they hit me in the first game. It's much more about like you're trying to fix a lot of different things instead of one thing. And I feel like that focus, while the writing is still top notch. I mean, the writing is still like as good as it gets in a video game. Really some really, really good character stories. And a couple of times where I was like, I really try in these games to like, sort of role play as how I feel like what I've decided the character is. And I'm like, I know I cut myself off from a couple of things because I was like, no, I don't, this person like betrayed me. I am not keeping them in my crew. No matter all the apologies they give me, they're gone. And I'm sure I probably missed something because of that, but I like shaping my own story in that way. Um, Music, still a banger. Just really love these games. They're visual novels basically with some dice mechanics. It's basically like playing a tabletop game, except it's a video game. You can't jive with that. You don't, whatever. But if you liked the first game, you will
which
like
I
this
did.
game. You will like this game. Like no doubt about it. It's probably not going to win anybody over if you didn't like the first game. It's not going to win anybody over. But the one thing I will say is, it doesn't have the same like the beginning of Sleeper One where you're like you have to keep getting the stabilizer, and you're like running away from that one person. You have to figure out a way to get
Yeah,
away
yeah,
from them.
yeah.
It doesn't have that mechanic, but it has like a sort of different like if you start fucking this up, your game's gonna get way harder for you, and you really got to dig yourself out of a hole. It has a different version of that, and I got in a really bad place in the beginning of the game because I didn't understand the like ramifications of doing certain things, and I had to really dig my way out of it. And so like I had a point like I was like the middle hour and a half of the game, I was like, man, I don't know if I'm even gonna put this on my top 10. And then once I got over that hump, it was just like just kept gaining
Clear
and
sailing.
gaining, gaining and gaining for me. Much like the
Nice.
first game. The first game was very much like that too for me. Um, that's my Citizen Sleeper 2 chat. Um, uh, I don't thinking about where we would put this. Like, it's not a game we both played. And I always think those are never gonna really get super high unless someone is like, "This is my number one game of the year," and then it
Yeah.
can make its way into the top 5. This is my number 5 game of the year. Citizen Sleeper 2. So still very high for me, but like if it's at number, I mean, for me, I would like it above Arc Raiders, but again, I don't know if I'm ready to go to like war for that, you know. Um,
We face war.
but I would. Okay, so that's Citizen Sleeper 2. Let's talk about Death Stranding 2.
What a fucking video game,
What a
man.
fucking
Like,
video
what the
game.
fuck? Like, uh, Kojima is Kojima needs to be reined in some ways, and then other ways is like, hold up, let him cook.
Let
That's
him
what this
let him
video game
cook.
is. I think Death Stranding is one of the best mechanically
Hmm,
playing video games I've ever played in my life.
I don't disagree with you on that.
I think the entire delivery system,
Hmm.
we talked before about like lizard brain shit.
Hmm.
I had no problem just getting in my van that I had from the beginning of the game to the end of the game that I reloaded saves to keep my van. Uh, if there was almost no talking in that game, I would have been. It's kind of the way you were talking about Easy Delivery Company.
Hmm.
It like I played that game like that,
Hmm.
where it's like I'm making deliveries. I'm getting at least 4 stars in all of these places. I had 4-star deliveries in every place up until the final third of the game.
Damn, Justin.
And I enjoyed every second of it because I knew, well, what is this person going to give me when I get to 4 stars? They're going to give me something else that I'm probably never going to use, but I might in case I need it, in case I need this fucking coffin that I'm going to surf on.
I never used
I,
it
I
once. I built
I
it.
never used it once either. I had it. I used it once, and I was like, "That's awesome. I'm gonna go back to my van now."
I had it in my van and I had to pick up an emu, a chiral in like
Oh
emu,
yes, yes,
and I
yep.
couldn't fit and there was something I was like, it wouldn't go into my van. And I was like, what the hell's going on? And it looks up, it's like, you can't have the coffin and the emu in the same van. And I was like, okay. So I left the coffin out in the middle of nowhere, and that was the last I ever heard of it.
Honestly might be the best playing. Like, not that not that every facet of the game is the best thing I've ever played in my life, like the best feeling thing I've ever played in my life. But I think the gameplay loop
Hmm.
is one of the more addictive things that I've ever played. And you
Agreed.
need that part of your brain to be like, well, I'm just making deliveries and these numbers are going up and I'm building these roads and people are liking my roads. I made this bridge in this really hard area that is going to help other people. And holy shit, this bridge has 10,000 likes
Hmm.
and I am now a master deliverer. Like, the fucking dancing and basically everything to do with God, what's his name? Why can't I think of the voice actor's name right now? Hicks.
Oh,
Troy Baker.
fucking Troy Baker.
Everything with Troy Baker. Troy Baker is having the most fun in his life playing this insane character. The ending of the game is batshit insane in ways that can't actually be
You can't
described.
describe it. If we tried to if we told you everything that happened, it still would not do justice to how crazy it is. My one complaint about the game is that I could do without Higgs anymore. Like, it's just a little too much Higgs, for me. Though I do love. So I agree with you on everything you're saying about the game, 100%. The thing I will say is like it has the great lizard brain, like, oh yeah, I'm getting likes and the great, but but he also sprinkles in all that weird ass story stuff just enough. And I
Yep.
think the game, once you get out of the first couple of chapters, it's just like the first game where the first couple of chapters are very story heavy. It's like you do one thing, then it's a big story thing. You do one thing, a big story thing, and then once you get into like chapters like
Three. It's
six,
always
no, it's
chapter
not
three.
three. It's really when you get to like chapter
Well,
like
three is where
six.
it opens up.
Yeah, but six is really when they go like, well, there can be a lot of cutscenes for a while. And then you get like 6, 7, 8, 9 are like the bulk of the game. It's like the bulk of the game. And you're just driving around doing stuff. And it really is just like figured out. And I think, some of the pushback this game got is that it's way easier than Death Stranding 1, which is absolutely true. It is way
100%.
easier than Death Stranding 1. And because of that, I like it for the completely different reasons than I love Death Stranding 1. I really loved the like slog of Death Stranding 1. Like that going up that when you first went to the first time you went to Hartman's lab, you had to go up that like the time fall snow like mountain, and it was like this like arduous, like, oh my god, I gotta do this. But when you get over that like that ridge and you're like, holy shit, I'm here, it felt so good. This game doesn't really have many of those. There's a couple of those here and there, but really you can really drive anywhere in this game. And it really wants you. Like I know Justin in the first game you drove everywhere despite the game not wanting you to. This game is
Oh, I
like
drove everywhere.
this game is like drive everywhere. Like go with God. And so I spent most of my time, I bet barely any time walking in this game, which seems weird when you're talking about Death Stranding game. So I can see why people got a little bit ruffled by that. But I think the secret of this game is that oddly, I think the people who were really into Death Stranding 1 were like, oh God, it's not like, but it's not mean enough to me. And the people who knew Death Stranding 1 was supposed to be mean just assumed this game was also like gonna be mean. And it's like the exact opposite. It is like, and I think I said this to you, it's like secretly Kojima made like, Spider-Man, Insomniac Spider-Man 2, but it's like, but it's this weird delivery game. Like that's how I think interesting. I mean, just by the fact how fun it is to just play it. It's just a really fun game to just play. Like it's a
Yeah.
joyous game to just do the things it wants you to do in it. And the other thing I'll say too is like Kojima is like 60, right? He's been making games since the NES days, pre-NES days. And he's rightfully gotten a lot of criticism over the years for certain aspects of his storytelling, especially when it comes to women, right? And this is not me here to say that Death Stranding 2 fixes all those problems. It does not. But it does really feel like he's trying to be better. Like it feels like he's trying to evolve, which is not something that a lot of 60-year-old game directors would do, who have carte blanche to do whatever the fuck they want whenever they want to fuck to do it. You know what I
And
mean?
he has fucking carte blanche in this game.
But like I think he does not hit the mark everywhere, but I think he's actually really trying to evolve himself, which I think is also a very cool thing about this.
Elle Fanning's character in this game is
She rips.
incredible.
She rips. She's so good.
She's
It made
so
me
cool.
like Elle Fanning just as a actress more. Even though I liked her and stuff, I'm like, sign me up for Elle Fanning because she fucking rules in this game. The other part of it too is that like, while the story is for the most part gobbledygook, like, and it has all the Kojima stuff that's gobbledygook. There are moments where it's not about the story, it's just about like emotional stuff between characters that
Yeah,
really worked for me. Where I was like,
yeah.
you know what? This works for me. Like I care about Fragile. There's been two games. It's a good performance. Other thing too, the motion capture and stuff is so good, and these people are
It's
so good in it. You
it
know,
might be the best looking game of the year.
I took
Like, it
so many
gives
pictures, like
yeah.
driving around, stunning. Sometimes you're like, how, what, like, how does it look like this? Is how you feel sometimes, when you're in it. Um,
The facial capture is ridiculous in
yeah,
that game.
yeah,
It probably leads all games.
yeah. Um, and it just does that thing where it's like, and I think what it does has above the first game in many ways is like the diversity of the biomes that you go to. There's just like a lot of different stuff that you go to in
Yeah,
this game.
yeah.
And yeah, absolutely. I mean, I put about 50 hours into it. I think Justin, you put like 60 something hours into it. I would have put more, but I was like, again, I finished this game about 3 weeks ago, like trying to make sure I got it done for this. Um, but the thing is, like, I missed it. Like when I was done with it, I was like, man, I miss my like nightly Death Stranding time, where I'm just
This
like
game
going
was played
around.
for me, mostly in the summer,
Hmm.
after Finn got on the bus and I didn't have to go to work for, like, 3.5 hours.
Hmm.
I was just like, "Oh, this is my delivery time.
Yeah.
Let's get these packages.
um, and
Let's build these roads."
I got the PlayStation Portal for my birthday, and I played. I mean, I still played most of this on my TV because it's just like a stunning game. But
Yeah.
it did help me finish it because I was like, you know what? When I'm watching a playoff game, or I'm watching a stream, I'll just play. I'll do all the deliveries and stuff when I'm doing that. And like, it's just like, before I know it, I played like 4 hours of it on my Portal, and it was just like, all right, like this game rules. That's how I felt about it at the end. Um, and look, I was talking about this in some Discord, or I think, and I was talking about it, and someone's like, "Yeah, but that ending though." I was like, "I love the ending. Like, I don't care that it's fucking crazy. This guy is showing,
It's nonsensical. It's nonsensical.
yeah, but this guy is showing you shit you've never seen before.
Yeah,
That's the
yeah.
thing where I texted Justin like throughout the whole ending, being like, okay, like I've never seen this before.
And I waited on from July to talk to you about this stuff. I was like, "Please play this game so we can talk about some of this."
Like just absolutely nuts. Some of the stuff that happens in that game. Truly loved it. Truly loved it. Yeah. Absolutely. Okay, so before we talk about Dispatch, Justin,
Mm.
let me just say this. So the only games on here, actually, the only games on here that we didn't both play are my two games, Sin Sleeper 2 and The Root Trees Are Dead. Um, I'm going to say, let me do this. I'm going to put, no, get out of here. Root Trees at 9. And I'm going to put Citizen Sleeper at 8. That's okay with you.
Fair enough.
There we go. Okay. So,
Okay, now the hard work actually starts.
so let's talk about this. Let's just talk about, we talked a bunch about Arc Raiders already, right? We don't need to talk about more about Arc Raiders.
We don't have
Um,
to talk anymore about Arc Raiders.
we have the blueprints discussion to go over. Um,
Let's put Arc. I'm going to tell you right now. Let's put Arc Raiders right
at 7.
7.
I think that's fair. Okay. And okay, let's talk about Blueprints because I would say Blueprints for me is next. Like I mean I don't even want it on this list. I this is one of
Blueprints
those
is my number 1 game of the year.
I mean that's not insane. That's I mean you
Oh, no, that's not insane. There are plenty of outlets that
yeah,
agree
yeah,
with
there
me.
are plenty of people that agree with you. You know, you for me, like let me talk about the stuff that bumped me with it, and then you can go, you know give it um your seal of approval.
Kelsey, come on.
Yes, you know we'll talk about Claire Obscure. Don't you freaking worry about that. Blueprints. So, Blueprints. It's a it's a puzzle game. Your it's your grandfather, right? It's your
It's your
grandfather
grandfather.
leaves you this house and basically goes like, you can have my fortune, but you got to find the secret room in my house. You are my puzzle boy. You know, I love you. You love puzzles like I love puzzles. Here you go. Basically, right? Like that's basically how the game starts. Whenever the game ends, I don't know, but that's how the game. That's the setup for the game. Thing about the house is that it constantly shifts, right? So basically, the game is part puzzle game, part rogue like almost deck builder, right? Where you're like you have this.
Do you have a trailer for it?
I
For
do.
our
Hold on a second. Let me see.
those watching live with us?
Yeah, I gotta. It's not in this thing. I know I can do. Here, I was second. Sorry. Can I do this? I gotta get it. Uh, okay, give me a second. I'll get it up for you. Anyway,
Oh,
no, it's fine.
it's while you're doing
Oh,
that,
look, it's the
I'll
number one game of the year. Um,
oh, no. Sorry. It's the number 7 game of the year. Um, so Blueprints is every day that you restart this game, the layout of the house is blank again, and it is a roguelike puzzle game. It kind of fits into that Metroidvania type thing where, like, the every day you're getting more knowledge about what's going on in this house.
Possibly.
Possibly. Possibly, but there even in the runs where you're not getting what you want, because there is some RNG with this game.
There's some
You are still
RNG with this game.
yeah, but yeah, like there like
The first 20 hours of this game is all RNG.
ah,
All RNG. So let's just say this: you come into the house, you go to a door, and it gives you an option of 3 rooms to put there. And the other rooms have like different. They're different types of rooms. They connect in different ways. You connect certain rooms to other rooms. It can unlock things for you to do. Right? Like that's basically what it is. And you're all trying to build to this secret 46th room that's at the end of the layout that's laid out in front of you. You know, that's basically what is going on. You can see here if you're watching like what it kind of looks like. Basically, it's just a grid that you're trying to fill in, and the grid has a weird topsy part that is like outside the grid. That's where the extra room is, basically, right? Um, and there's like the main puzzle of the whole thing that you're trying to do, and there's also like Justin was saying, there's like kind of puzzles within puzzles, right? Of happening.
oh, there's puzzles within puzzles within puzzles.
Um, Now, as we've spoken about this entire night, the I'm a puzzle man. I love puzzle games. They are my shit, right? Love puzzle games. And I was mucho excited about this game. Um and my experience with this game went thusly. Started it out, was like, okay, I'm starting to see how it works. I like this, whatever. First couple hours. Then I had a couple hours where I was like, I'm just going room, 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 and I'm not finding anything. I feel like I'm not progressing anything. I don't see any of these hidden puzzles everyone's talking about. Um, and I had like really like 3 or 4 nights where I would play for a couple of hours and just leave them being like, feeling like I had just died to the same boss every single night, 50 times each night. Like that's how I felt when I stopped. And then I had this like nice middle. I had this middle portion probably. So I was probably like, I'm probably like 10 hours into this point and ready to basically give up on the game, essentially. Then I have like a middle 10 hours where I'm starting to figure stuff out. I'm starting to unravel stuff. I'm seeing some cool stuff. I'm enjoying what's going on. And I'm seeing the merit and like sort of what other people who really love the game are sort of seeing, right? And then I like figure out like one of the major puzzles on how to get, how to basically how to open that last door. Basically, I know how to open the door to get. I've gotten into the antechamber, but never opened the door, right? But I figured out how to open the door to that secret room. And then I play for like 3 or 4 more hours and never get the assortment of rooms that I need to get back there to get through that door. And at that point, I was just like, you talked about Silksong not respecting your time. I was like, this game does not respect my time at all. Like, I know how to solve this puzzle, and it's your RNG machine that's stopping me from doing it. And that is kind of where I just bumped off the game, where I was kind of like, okay, like I'm just done. I put 30 hours into this thing, and like I had there were some really great moments, like truly great moments, truly great puzzle moments that I would have loved to have throughout the whole game. And I just felt like I was like fighting this other system to get to it, basically. So that's
Okay.
why it wasn't in my top 10. It wasn't even in my top 20 for the year.
So this game is more about the journey than it is the actual end.
Yeah, and
I never
the journey
struggle.
sucked.
The journey doesn't suck
I
because
hated the journey.
I'm shocked you were stuck on puzzles on here that I could not figure out why you got stuck because I am terrible at puzzle games. Terrible. And like I was just like, oh, it's gotta be this. This is just a different way our brains work.
You
I
were also
didn't
playing
mind
with
the
somebody.
RNG. I was playing with somebody, but like I was the one that figured out that Christmas was the date for the safe because there was a Christmas
I mean,
picture in
that
the
was
room.
so early that I couldn't figure that out. I mean, that's not even my main problem with it.
But the thing is, like, is there RNG in this game? Yes, 100%. But I never mind. I never got bothered by the fact it was like, oh, I can't get the RNG to go in my favor in this way because I was getting so many other clues to other puzzles. It isn't like there is like, yes, the main game is getting to room 46, but there is so much more to it than that. Like getting to 46 is just like one of the like technically, yes, it's I solved the game and then the entire actual game starts. So, like for me, I was collecting pieces of evidence along the way, all the chess pieces, the pictures on the wall, everything. I'm taking down notes and writing down
Yeah, but
all of
that's
these
all
things
in
because, like,
service of trying to get to that room.
no, the chess pieces are not in service of getting to that room. It's a completely separate puzzle. It doesn't have anything to do with getting to the main room. But here's the thing, like, there are 4 different ways to get to that final room.
I know.
Is the RNG always gonna work in your favor? No, it's not always gonna work in your favor, but just because it doesn't work in your favor doesn't mean that you're not trying something new. That's the thing is, like, many times in this game, I was like, "Alright, well, the RNG is not working for me. Let's try new things and see what happens. Maybe I learned something new about a different puzzle." That's the thing, that's why it never bothered me because eventually I was gonna get there. And I got there in like less than 20 hours. And then I saw the rest of the game. But like I wasn't like I was trying to force it. That's the thing. If you just kept playing, I think I got to
Justin, I played for
the
30
final
hours.
room.
Don't tell me if I just kept playing.
Well, the
Okay?
thing is like I got to the room. I got to room 46, I think, on my 30th day. And I
Okay.
ended up playing for like 45, 46
I was
days.
on
And
day
there was so much
55 or
more.
something when I hadn't even gotten in the room.
I don't know. Like I think this game is fucking brilliant the way that it does things. Like the way that you could get the upgrade discs and like start choosing which rooms to like absolutely like shun and which rooms to bring up and like figuring out like okay there are 3 exits out of this room and one of them is going to lead into a red room and like I'm going to go into the red room and like all right well how do I negate the red room and like that stuff that I like learned along the way was just like okay when I come to the dark room how do I negate this well I know that in a previous run I've started making it so that the control room comes up way more in my runs so that way I negate the RNG and I'm like basically forcing the game to give me the run that I want.
I get it. And I know that like also the thing that's different is like for me, that kind of stuff is not I don't love that stuff in any
But
game.
here, again, but this is not strictly a puzzle game. This is a puzzle roguelike where you
I
are meant
know.
to play the game
And the
multiple times.
roguelike part of the game, I here's the and I think Andrea said this, a puzzle game where it isn't always possible to solve, even when you know how to solve it, feels bad. And like that was my main problem. Is like, I know how to solve this. Just let me solve it. Like
But
you know, like
sure,
that
but
was the
like
thing.
then the game like literally lasts for 3 hours because it's like,
Okay.
oh,
Well, if I'm
I figured
smart
out how
enough
to
to
solve
beat
it.
your game in 3 hours, let me do it.
But there's so much more to it than just getting to room 46.
I know.
Like solving that chess puzzle, finding out where to go for that chess puzzle and solving that is probably like my top 2 gaming moments of the year. Like being like, "Oh my god, we figured it out. I found where all this stuff goes." Like I took the notes, I looked and I'm like, "In this room is this and this and this and this," and then going down and being like, "Oh shit, I found this elevator that took me downstairs, that took me to the chessboard. I have all the notes from the last 20 hours I've been playing the game that'll let me solve this." Like when you drain that fountain for the first time and it's like, "Okay, now I got to figure out where this key goes." Like all of that stuff is so good.
It's good, but I don't. And you're talking about moments. I'm not disagreeing that there are great moments of the game, and like I said, I had a really nice time for like some section of the time I played this game, 100%, and it was really fulfilling when I would solve these long term puzzles. But like, you know what? I'm not. This is not me saying you didn't have this experience, but like, yes, there were times where I was like, man, I've got like 6 things I'm working on at once. So whatever comes up now, I'm fine. I'm just going to work towards one of those 6 things. But at a certain point, I solved 5 of those 6 things. And I was like, I got one thing right now that I know I'm trying to solve, and I just can't make it happen, you know? And it's like, okay, I got, not only do I, and the thing is like, it's like, not only do I have to get this to get to there, but I also have to get this and this to get there. And if I don't get these two, and God forbid, there's also the point where like, oh, if I run out of steps before I get or before I get there, you know, there's just like all of these things where it's like, just let me solve the puzzle. I've worked for this for 30 hours. Just let me solve the puzzle.
Did you ever get the apple orchard?
I got all those upgrades around there or whatever, you know? I figured those things out. Like it wasn't like I was just going for the room. I figured out a bunch of those other puzzles, you know, and I think that like, you know, I'm working on the classroom puzzle where you have to get like a certain amount of classrooms or whatever. And,
Yeah.
you know, and I got 7 out of the 8 or whatever it was, and then just could not get the last one to draw. And I ran out of steps. And I was like, all right, well, fuck me then, I guess. Like, I'll have to try to do it all over again and hope I get these rooms to show up, you know? And like, you know,
I get what you're saying about the RNG, and in a lot of games, I think RNG is super frustrating. But for some reason, in this game, I just did not find the RNG
well,
frustrating
you like
at
roguelikes
all.
a lot too. That's the other thing too. You're a roguelike guy, and you're not a puzzle guy most of the time. So it's like I think that was the difference, is that you love that part of the game, and so you were able to like let your brain sort of like work both at the same time in a way that I think was fulfilling to you. You know, because you didn't. It's not like you're staring at like, you know, a puzzle in the witness and trying to figure out like, you know, oh, I have to turn a certain way to line up with these rocks to figure out that's how the pattern I got to go. And that's what I got to figure out, just a puzzle right now. That's the only thing I got to do is just puzzle it. I got to be a puzzler. You know what I mean? This game is like, no, you can be a puzzler, but also if you like, you know, drawing cards and putting down decks and figuring out how to put things together, you can also have a good time at this game. And that's great. But for me, who like was like, and part of this is like the way it was talked about before it came out, I'm going to admit, like it was like people were like, this is the greatest puzzle game I have ever played. And I'm like, there's like a good puzzle game inside of this thing that I don't want to play, is basically how I felt while I was playing it, you know? So like
Fair enough.
that's the big thing for me. Again, I totally understand it being your number one, and this is not me saying like your experience is invalid. Like you had the experience you had, and I think that's awesome. And I'm jealous you had the experience you had, you know, for it. Um, you know, and I can totally see it like, you know, um, if it's your number one of the year, you know, I'm not gonna say like it's gotta be we should move it to number 7 or whatever. Like I'm not gonna say that, you know, or number 6. Like it should stay in the top 5 for sure. Where it goes in that top 5, we'll have to figure that out. But let's table that for now. Um, let's
Where is Dispatch for you?
Dispatch for me it's number 8 for me.
Number 2 for me.
Okay. I really like Dispatch. It's just like for me at the end of the day, I think the the game part of it, which is a part of it, is not that great. You know? Like I love the story, I love the characters, I love the dialogue, I love all that stuff. Which is why it's my top 10. But like, like the hacking game and like the actual dispatch game was like fine. Like I liked it, but it wasn't like exemplary to me.
See, but that's the thing is, like, for me, I guess the hacking game I didn't really like. I didn't care for whatsoever. The dispatching I really did like though, because like it continued the story.
Yeah, no, I
Like,
don't disagree with that part of it.
and I think I th- to me, the dispatch is all about A, the characters, B, the story, and
For
C,
sure.
the dialogue.
Yeah.
Um, Hearing Jeffrey Wright say fuck in 9,000 different ways was delightful. I'm not gonna lie. Um, I I loved everything about that game. Like I could not get it into me fast enough. Um, I think it's like the culmination of what Telltale's trying to do. Whatever they were trying to do, I feel like it's the height of it.
I mean, I think it's the height of it visually and voice acting wise, but for me, like the lack of interactivity, especially near the end of the game where it's like that last episode, like the last like hour of the game, basically I'm just have the controller down, I'm watching a cutscene. Because I turned off at some point the annoying like in mid cutscene like hit X, hit Y, do this, whatever. I turned that stuff off, because I was like, this is not fulfilling me in any way because it doesn't really change anything, you know. Um, so like that was my main thing is there's just the lack of interactivity in it that I think, um, again, I'm nitpick. Let me be very clear with you. I am nitpicking here because we're talking about we're getting the nitty gritty of how we're going to order this list. That's all I'm doing. I loved this game. I want to put that out right there. Um, but if I'm going to nitpick it, I think I did like the dispatch mini game because of I did like how it continued the story, like you said. And I liked how it kind of gave you some closeness to like the characters. You kind of like have your team and you like your team, and it's like when they show up at the end, you're like, yeah, shit, that's my team. That's I picked Waterboy or whatever. You know what I mean? I didn't pick
Yeah.
what's his name, the
Phenomenon.
Phenomena Man. The thing I didn't like about this mini game was just like sometimes it was so random. Like I didn't like the randomness of it, where it was like I should get this, and it was like no, you're actually gonna miss this, or like I shouldn't get this at all, and somehow I got it. It was like sometimes I felt like I was losing. Not that it mattered really; it didn't really affect anything, but it was like I just didn't like losing it sometimes because I was like I did this perfectly, and for some reason I lost it. Um. So I guess I should ask, like, that's your number 2. What's Death Stranding for you?
3,
Okay. What's Hades 2 for you?
4.
Okay. And Avowed?
Hang on. 6.
Avowed all the way down at 6 for you. Wow.
It I struggled with this list.
Okay. Um,
All of these games could win game of the year for me in like a lot of other years.
so what I'm gonna do, let's do this right now. I'm gonna just for preliminary for Death Stranding, I'm gonna move it up to 3 for right now, okay?
Mhm.
I'm gonna do that. Um, okay. Um, okay. So I mean I didn't move because these aren't numbered yet. Okay. So, I mean, we should talk really quickly. I mean, um, Megs says, I wish I knew why we missed. I agree with you, Megs, and Dispatch. Yes, that's what I'm saying. Why did I miss? um, uh, um, so we haven't talked about what? We haven't talked about Avowed, Hades
Hades
2, or Claire Obscure
and
yet.
Pure Obscure.
Um, I mean, Claire Obscure is like the elephant in the room right now because it's my number 1 by like a bullet. It never moved from my number 1. I it's the game I've most connected with since Elden Ring. It's not on the Elden Ring exactly that level, but I was more invested in the story and also just loved playing it more than most games I've ever played, is really how I feel about it. Um, I loved the RPG systems. I loved like the mix of like turn-based and active time battling. I love that you can turn your little teenage like companion into like a nuclear bomb, tactical nuclear bomb that can just like destroy like the toughest bosses in the game. It's got God, some of the best voice acting
Oh, it's
of
phenomenal.
any game I've ever played. Um, and I truly could have just played the combat forever. Like that, I just love the combat so much. Um, I had something like before I kind of like tactical nuked Mael and really figured out like her full like optimal build where she could just like do like, you know, 4 million damage in one hit or whatever. I had this long fucking fight against that like dragon thing that was flying in the sky,
Mhm.
and it took forever. And it was like, and it was just a thing where like it was just this battle that had so many ebbs and flows where it was like I got into the battle and I was like, and I was like winning at first. I'm like, I got this guy, and then they switched up their like attack pattern to like this thing that like basically like started like ticking down. Like, oh no, every time I did a certain kind of move, it would like tick up this like this thing, and then it would explode and do a ton of damage. And so then I was like, I was down, I was losing, and I was like, oh shit, I'm gonna lose this. And I slowly clawed my way back, and I won. And it was such a like satisfying feeling to do it. It just felt so good. Um, and like forced myself to learn the parries and all that stuff. Like really was like, I felt like you know, you really feel sometimes by the end they're like, I am I'm responsible for if I make a hit or not. And if I can do this whole battle and not get hit for the most part, if I just play perfectly. And I really loved that about the game. And I cried like 3 times, you know, playing it too for the story. So all that stuff, like just like complete. It was one thing where I had a hangover for like 2 months after I finished it, basically. Where I didn't want to play anything else because I was like, it's not Clear Obscure Expedition 33. And I know that's like, you know, it's won every game of the year at this point. It's like basic ass bitch to like say that's your favorite game of the year, but like it's my favorite game since 2022 is like really what it is, you know? Like I would it probably I haven't done this list. It's probably in my top 10 to 15 games of all time. Like,
Wow.
yeah, that's how I feel about it.
So it was my number 7 game of the year.
Yeah. Oh, you mean so
I
one better than I had Dispatch, you mean?
Yes, one better than you had Dispatch. Um, there's nothing wrong with the game. Like it's great. It's a great game. The soundtrack is awesome. The voice acting is awesome. The mocap is great. I just lost steam with it somewhere along the way, and that's probably a like JRPG thing, or I'm sorry, an FRPG thing,
Yeah,
because
come
this
on.
is
Get
some.
it right, Justin.
I'm so sorry.
Jeez.
Um, the music is like fantastic. The characters are all great, all that stuff. But I fucking loved the absolute shit out of Persona. And you know what I did after like a certain amount of time in Persona? I just turned the combat down because I wanted to just get to the end of the story. And like I liked the combat. The combat was good, but after like 40 hours, I was like, I've seen enough. And so I just put it on easy because I wanted to get to the end of the story. And like I didn't really engage with any of the side stuff past. I'm trying to think where. Sometime after you can start flying on SK. I like was like, you know what, I'm just gonna mainline the story. And like it was all good and fine. Like in typical fashion in most of these games, you end up fighting God.
You should do.
And I mean, to be fair, this game is not doesn't have the greatest of endings, no matter which way you go. So it's not like all games have to have happy endings. It was a very great video game, but it was not one of my favorite games of the year. I mean, it is one of my favorite games of the
Yeah.
year. It's in my top 10,
Yeah.
but it's not a top 5 game for me. It's fantastic, but it was an extremely good year.
There was a point where it turned for me where I was like, I was like, you know what? Yeah, I really want to see the end of the story. I'm really, I can't wait to be. I'm really loving this game, but I can't wait to be done with it. To I never want this to end. I just want to just always be doing this. It's like
I
what?
remember we were talking when that
Yeah.
happened for you, and, like, I wanted to have that happen for me as well, but just at a certain but this is just like a Justin thing, it's just like, at a certain point, even my favorite turn-based games, I'm like, "Alright, I've had enough, like, let's see where this is going." Like, I know I can make my L like a nuclear bomb, but after so many times in a row of that, you're like, "Alright, well, let's
Well,
see
that
where
you
this
said
is
you didn't really
actually
engage with
going."
the side stuff, right?
Some of the stuff I did, like, it's not like I didn't engage with any of it, like,
Yeah.
it was way deep into act 3 where I was like, "Alright, I don't need to see any more of the side stuff. Let's go kill the paintress." And then from the time that I killed the paintress, I pretty much just mainlined it to the end of the game.
Okay. Well, that's Act 2 when you kill the painters, actually, Justin. It's
Well,
Act
then
2.
sometime after that, I stopped doing
It's
side
Act 2.
stuff. It was right in that
I mean,
area.
Act 3 is really like when you can really start doing a lot of the more like crazy side stuff, but
Yeah.
because that's when you can fly. That's when you can start flying. Is when you're in Act 3,
So
basically.
then I did some of the side stuff in Act 3
Yeah.
when I was flying around on SK. And I got all my relationships all the way up to the main, like the max level. Those stories are all phenomenal. Like it's a great fucking video game. There's again, it's basically preference at this point. I
Well, yeah.
can't really shoot arrows into it, but it's
No,
like
no,
it
no,
wasn't
no.
my favorite thing that I played this year.
So, before we start like going, because I think we're almost ready to rank these. We haven't talked about Hades 2 or about it all. So I want to talk about these really quick because they're fucking great games. Um, Avowed came out very early in the year. And I think both of us were like, well, it's getting some like good press. Like maybe this is gonna be better than we thought it was gonna be.
Obsidian.
What'd you say?
Yeah. It's Obsidian.
It's Obsidian. Or I was like, maybe this will be better than we think it's gonna be. And then I think both of us like fell in love with it.
Fucking
Um,
ruled.
Game fucking rules. It's got the perfect, for me, the perfect type of open world thing, which is that the world is big but not tremendously huge, and it is just, and because of that, it's just packed full of in every corner of something important to find, something of note to find. You will
Yeah.
never walk anywhere and be like, man, I walked here for no reason. This is just a bunch of trees. It's like, no, there's a chest in here with a weapon, or there's a thing, or there's an upgrade item, or there's a whatever, you know? Um, you're never like, oh man, I got this quest and I gotta go all the way to the other side of the map because it takes like 2 minutes, or whatever. It's like
Yeah.
really fast. Um, it's got that great obsidian, like Justin and I had a thing where there's a thing that can happen at the end of one of the, there's a couple different zones, right? There's a couple different worlds that you could go to, areas you go to. And there's a thing that can happen. There's two ways one of those acts can end with either something getting destroyed or you saving something. And I think
Oh, right.
Justin and I had the exact opposite experience. I was like, dude, I can't believe how that ended. And you were like, what are you talking about? And I was like, the whole fucking town burned down. Like the all people had to go. I had to choose where these people were going to live because they couldn't live in their town anymore. So I was like, oh, that didn't happen for me at all.
There was a choice that I legitimately struggled with for a bit,
Yeah.
and I made the choice, and I saw how it played out for, like, 40 minutes, and I was like, "Nope," and I went back and I
Oh,
reloaded the
coward.
save.
A
Yeah,
coward. You're a coward,
um,
Justin.
I am, that's what they say about me. Um, but yeah, like, I echo what you're saying. I do love Skyrim and the Bethesda games, and it's like, "Alright, well, we're gonna take those worlds, that map that you're in, and we're gonna condense it, and we're gonna make a
Mhm.
few of those."
Yeah.
So I literally explored every inch of those maps, and just
Yep.
like you said, there is always something there. There's always something on top of the hill, behind the waterfall, through the woods, like,
Uh-huh.
and the combat was satisfying.
Combat was good.
The combat was satisfying. Like I switched up my gameplay from having a sword and a spell book to then just rolling around with a mythical fucking axe, a dual-handed axe, and like they literally give you Garrus as your first teammate.
Yeah.
Like they know what they're doing.
Yeah.
They know that if they take the voice actor from Mass Effect that played Garrus and make him like the first guy that you meet, you're
Another
gonna be
blue
like,
guy.
absolutely, yeah,
Another cool blue guy.
yeah.
Hmm.
I loved everything about this game. I cannot wait for them to make more. I think that it's a very interesting world. Um,
I hope they
when we
make
were
more.
talking, it was funny because when we were talking when Expedition 33 came out, I was like, I really like Expedition 33, but I still think I like Avowed more. And like to this day, I still like Avowed more. Um, but yeah, the game super awesome. I cannot wait to see where they go with it. Oh, that's right. You die, you die like right at the
You said right at
start.
the beginning. There's just like all these choices you can make, all these little things that affect all these different things, and like just little choices too that are like don't seem like a big deal, but like there's a thing right at the beginning where you're like dealing with that like brothel or whatever, and
Oh, yes, yes,
the
yes.
woman's kind of like,
With the contraceptives, right?
yeah, contraceptives, they're like, um, and you have to make a choice. You're like, okay, like, do I let them just keep going on? Like, even though like I've been asked by the magistrate or whatever to like, stop this practice or whatever. And you get to make a choice, like to do that or to not. And it's not like a huge, you feel it's not like a huge choice, but it does, has like a moral implication for your character. And also it does end up helping you later on if you do it, you make a certain choice. So really cool in that way. The magic is really cool. Different zones. Like I really liked like the dwarf zone that you go to. It's like near
Yeah.
the end. Like just like a special game that I think a lot of people, I think as many people play it, obviously because it's an Xbox game. It's coming to PlayStation
Now it's on
soon.
coming to PlayStation, I think
Yeah.
this month.
Yeah. And also because I think people like I think it didn't show particularly well. And so people were kind of like, this thing's not going to be any good. And
And it was great.
and I think also people kind of maybe played a little bit of it and were like, oh, this seems like a typical one of these games, but it just isn't that, and I really truly love the game. Um, yeah. And Alejandro says Game Pass has skewed my perception of how well games do when you can't get good enough sales numbers. This game was cool, but I have no idea how well it did. And I'm sure for them it did fine, but because it's an internal game, but it's just like I wish more people had played it. I really wish more people had played it. And hopefully not more people will that it's coming to PlayStation.
PlayStation.
Yeah. So, and then Hades 2.
Oh god.
Um, what a video game. And
Uh,
it's so easy to be like, yeah, it's more Hades 1.
well, I mean, it's a lot more Hades 1. Um, I I remember watching the guy who used to do, the Yahtzee guy. He does fully Remblonic now or Rembonic now. He used to do,
Are you talking about zero punctuation again?
yes, I'm talking about Zero Punctuation.
Every time you do
That
this, you
review
can't remember his name.
I can never remember his name. I know it's Yahtzee, but like his review was just like, "Oh, it's like Hades by the number," and then they're like, "Well, what's this door do?" Oh, it's an entire other game on top of the game,
Yeah.
and like that's where this game shines. Here's what I have to say about Hades 2. It is a better playing game than Hades 1 by
Yes.
far.
Yes. Agree
Um,
100%.
the things that you can do, the choices that you can make, like, all right, well, I'm going to go up, I'm going to go up, or I'm going to go down. I'm going to, like the weapons are a lot of fun. What you can do with the weapons
The aspects
is
and stuff.
the
Yeah.
aspects is really great. You have pets that have follow you. The characters are all awesome. Maneloi is a great character. Do I love her as much as Zag? Like it's dealer's choice there. I don't think Hades 2 has as good as a story as Hades 1.
Yeah. Meg just said the same thing in the chat, and I totally agree. I think that is the thing. Like Hades did a better job of melding the great gameplay and this great story together in a really tight form because it's just and also the story of Hades 1 is just a simpler story. It's just
It's a family story.
a kid who's mad at his dad and he just wants to let me go, dad. Like that's basically what the story is, except it's with Greek gods. And Hades 2, they, to their credit, they were like, we're not going to do the same thing again. We're going to do something bigger. We're going to stretch. We're going to try to do something more. And while I think the story is good to very good, I said the story is very good. It does not land the plane the way that the first game does.
No, it doesn't.
And look, I feel like I'm this way with all these kind of games. I wasn't like, oh my God, they desecrated the name
Oh,
of
no,
the game.
no, no.
Change the ending, cowards. Like, that, like, people freak out about that shit so much. And I'm just like, okay, guys, like, just like you played 50 hours of this game and loved every moment of it just because like you didn't like what, what Chronos did at the end. Like it doesn't change the whole rest of the game, you know? Um I mean, like, I agree with you. Everything you said, I think it plays better than Hades 1. I love the two worlds thing. Um and what I really loved about my experience playing this game is I had a struggle bus for like the first maybe like 5 or 6 hours
Yeah.
where I was like, man, I'm just not breaking through. I'm having trouble with the first boss. And I was like, man, I like, what am I gonna do? And then I just started figuring out the way I needed to play the game, and how I could play it the way I needed to play it to be better at it. And then I completely flipped the script. Like I was like just fucking running through it. Didn't unlike the first game, didn't put on God mode, like just like did it the way they guess they want you to do it. And by the end, I was like, Justin, I cleared it again. I cleared it again. I cleared it again. I cleared it again. Like I got like
Yeah.
I think I got like 10 clears in a row, basically. Basically, once I was able to get a couple clears in a row, I just didn't stop clearing the game, basically.
Yeah. And I would say the thing about one is I think the game does a better job in one of giving you that carrot stick to keep coming back to it after you technically beat the game.
Mhm.
In one, you're really trying to like you're doing that, but you're really still like pulling the gods in to like get to that final thing. And now, granted, I've only gotten to credits on Hades too.
Right.
Like I haven't gone back in. I think I did like one or two more runs. I was just waiting to like just like I did with the first game till it comes out on PlayStation or something, and then I would play the game all over again. Or I get a Steam machine, I could play it on my TV because I was playing it mostly on the PC that I'm
Oh,
sitting
yeah, I
on.
got it on Switch too.
So I could go back and like do all that stuff then. And I look forward to doing it, but I definitely felt like the carrot like the string on the carrot was better in the first game. But I think the combat is so much better in the second game. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it really is, and I think, like, I also love, like, the top world in Hades 2, the way they
Yeah.
change up how the worlds lay out, like, when you get that, like, that first one even when it's like that kind of like arena, you get to pick what doors you wanna go into,
Yeah.
the ship sequence as well, all that stuff, and I just remember texting you, like, when I first got Ares again, when he first showed up for the first time again, I was like, "Thank yes,
Yeah.
please, I need the blades, I need the
Yeah.
spinning doom."
It's a
Uh,
fucking awesome video
it's an
game.
awesome
Like,
video game.
they do not ever miss.
Um, I will be very happy though. But the thing did happen with this game that I knew was going to happen. Because I remember us talking about this when Hades 1 came out, and you were talking about what they want to do next. You're like, I want them to do Hades 2. I was like, I think they should do something new. Because like I think if they do it, it's gonna be some sort of diminishing return, and that's what happened, like perception wise. You know what I mean? Um, but because the pink people were like, yeah, it's like a 9.5 or it was like a 9.8, but the first game was a 10, and so the game got kind of dogged for that. And it's like the thing I just want to say about it is, and I feel like I faced this a lot when we were talking about when I was back doing the comic book podcast years and years ago, and we were talking about like the books that would come out every month and be really good, and people would kind of be like, yeah, you talked about those already. I was like, yes, but doing something really great multiple times is really fucking hard. It's not easy.
Super hard, man.
It's not
Like, it is
easy.
it is hard to have banger after banger
Yeah.
after banger.
So I like, and I don't want to hear this hipster shit of like, you know what actually is their best game? Pyre. Get out of here, guys. Like,
Pyre's not.
I mean, I'm sure I'm not saying Pyre isn't a great game. I'm just saying, like, come on, guys. Like, let's be real about this. Um,
I need to look at Pyre again one day.
yeah, me too, actually. All right. So here's
Just
what
leave
I
it the way
think.
it is. Just leave it the way it is.
This
Yeah.
Death Stranding is too low. Isn't Death
What do you
Stranding
wanna
your
replace Death Stranding
isn't Death
with?
Stranding your number 2 game of the year?
This is number my 3 game of the year.
Oh, sorry. It's my number 2 game of the year.
Okay, so Death Stranding needs to come up.
Yeah, it needs to come up.
So what do you wanna replace it with?
I mean, I would
I don't
say,
wanna lose Blueprints needs to stay in the top 5.
but if I actively dislike it,
my number one game of the year. You're
It,
gonna get Expedition 33 at number one.
well, what I was gonna say is I would be willing because it's because a shared list of ours, since Expedition 30 is your number 7, to put Death Stranding 2 at number 1.
Hmm. You
And
know,
I
I
would
really thought if we were gonna take Expedition out of the number one spot, it would be Hades sliding into it.
no, 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 no.
You wanna put a Kojima game at number one? Yeah, but Claire's your like your number one with a bullet. Like,
Yeah, it is. But this isn't my list. I have my personal list. But if we're splitting this is why I'm saying I think Blueprints should go to number 6, and then everything else gets slotted over one slot.
hmm, I could live with that.
Basically trading 6 for 1. Hades is number
Hades is
3 on my list, Alejandro.
number four on mine.
Yeah. It's going to be number 3, basically.
Yeah, I could do that. I really did love playing fucking Death Stranding. I'm taking the deal. I'm not arguing, Kelsey.
Take the deal.
Kelsey, I'm shocked you're still here.
Kelsey's a real one.
She's a real one. We should have just had Kelsey be the judge and just make blind.
Kelsey has a small child. There's no way she could have been on this show for this
I'm
long.
so tired. I'm so tired. I don't blame you, my friends. My
Um,
Oh yeah, Dispatch, number two slot.
no, number 5. Number 5. Um, let's try it on for size, Justin. Let's try it on for size. Okay. Number 10, Ghost of Yote. Number 9, The Root Trees Are Dead. Number 8, Citizen Sleeper 2, Star Wars Vector. Number 7, Arc Raiders. Number 6, Blueprints. Number 5, Dispatch. Number 4, Avowed. Number 3, Hades 2. Number 2, Clair Obscur Expedition 33. And number 1, Death Stranding 2, On the Beach.
It's a very good list.
We're feeling good about this? Good mouth feel for this list?
Yes.
What is your speak now, forever hold your peace, Justin. Thank you, Mags, for the bits.
Thanks. Thanks. No, it's a good list. It's a good
I know
list.
your problem is the
All the-
dispatch thing. I know that's what you're humming and hawing about.
It's all these games though are absolute fucking bangers. It's not like I have any problem with any game ahead of Dispatch. It's personal preference, so it's fine by me.
Okay. All right. So, Misadventureland's top 10 games of 2025 are number 10, Ghost of Yote. Number 9, The Root Trees Are Dead. Number 8, Citizen Sleeper 2, Star Wars Vector. Number 7, Arc Raiders. Number 6, Blueprints. Number 5, Dispatch. Number 4, Avowed. Number 3, Hades 2. Number 2, Clair Obscur Expedition 33. And number 1, Death Stranding 2, On the Beach.
Kojima did it.
He fucking did it.
He beat those French fuckers right in the face.
6 years later, on one of our lists, he becomes the number 1 game. I forget what Death Stranding 2 was. Death Stranding 1 was for us on that list. I feel like it was like number 5 or something like that. I feel like that for our list.
It was something like that.
That was the Remnant year.
Oh god.
All right, what's your actual what's your top 10, Justin?
My top 10.
He's going places, that Kojima.
Blueprints, Dispatch.
No, start from 10. What are you doing, you crazy?
Oh, sorry. DK, Bonanza.
Okay.
Ball X Pit, Ghost of Yote, Expedition 33, Avowed, Arc Raiders, Hades 2, Death Stranding 2, Dispatch, and Blueprints.
Okay. Number 10 for me, Slots and Daggers. Number 9, Shinobi Art of Vengeance. Number 8, Dispatch. Number 7, Consume Me. Number 6, The Root Trees Are Dead. Number 5, Citizen Sleeper 2. Number 4, Avowed. Number 3, Hades 2. Number 2, Death Stranding 2 on the Beach, and number 1, Claire Obscure Expedition 33. I will say, the subtitle for Death Stranding 2, you don't spend a lot of time on the beach. It's crazy
You
that
really
it
don't.
is the subtitle for the game. Alejandro predicts, I think in 6 months' time, once Justin plays it, Root Trees is top 3. That's what he says.
It's gonna have to do some heavy lifting to get into the
Top
top
3? Yeah.
3,
It's
yeah.
not even in my top 3.
Honestly, as long as we've been together doing this shit, this is one of the strongest years I
Yes.
remember. Like, this is gonna go down as one of those years we look back at 10 years from now. Like, we look at 2017,
Yeah.
the year that Mario Odyssey and Breath of the Wild came out,
Yep.
and a whole bunch of other amazing games. Like, this is a strong year.
Yeah. I think like, yeah, I absolutely agree with you. I think you're absolutely right. This has been a crazy strong year. And the thing about it is it's been a really, 2017 was one of those years where, there was like a couple of just like all timers that came out and really good stuff that also came out, like really great stuff that always came out. This year has felt like the most like deep and wide year of like just great games, like just from all corners, all walks, all size of developers. It's really been like a really great, like I said, a lot of years where I've got, even 2017, like a lot of years where I've got, like 17 games that could fit into, 4 slots in the rest of my top 10, like that close. So
Yeah,
really
I think
great year.
that with this year for me, it was like just finding the 10 was not that difficult.
Yeah.
Ordering the 10 was very difficult.
Oh, finding the 10 was the most difficult part for me. Ordering it wasn't as hard as finding it for me.
Well,
To
you know what your number 1 with the bullet was
Well,
for a
yeah, that
while.
was a while, but yeah. It was really like like 7 through 10 that was the really hard thing for me to figure out. But I did it, and we did it.
We did it.
Um, Maybe we'll do it again next year. How about that?
I think we will.
Do a
It's been
game of
a
the year.
long time since we did a 4-hour
I
podcast.
know. Like old times. Thank you everybody who stuck around for the whole time. I'm gonna find some way to get this onto a podcast feed. I don't know how yet, but it will be on YouTube as well. So check it out there, and you can also check out the VOD here, obviously, if you missed any of it. I will be back. I don't know if I'm streaming Thursday because I have to work, but this might stand in for my stream this week, which I think I gave you plenty of content. I gave you 4 hours. So I hope you guys liked it. I'll be back again soon. But thank you so much, Justin.
Thank you, Bobby.
Thank you to everybody who's watching or listening. Until next time, be good to one another. Later.